to Shapes and Forms. I am Planet Jane as always, and I am joined with my usual co-hosts Trevor Whatevr
What's up?
and Sredni Vashtar.
What's up? Hi.
Hello. Let me move the window for this a little bit so I can see better and just reposition my chair quickly. There we go.
I should probably mention this. This is going to be our first insane story for the week.
Oh, good. Share.
The first of many.
Do share.
Because, I'm a little sad that I don't think that many people are going to see it because, people sort of trickle into the stream.
Uh-huh.
But so last night, right?
Uh-huh.
I decided to moisturize my face and shave and everything, and I used up too much of the hot water because our heating system with respect to water is lame.
Right.
So I only realized this after I started a shower, and then I, stopped, and I was like, in the meantime, I'm dissatisfied with how long and, troublesome my hair has gotten.
Yeah.
I am going to cut my hair.
Alright.
I started cutting my hair, and it looked decent, but then I realized, oh my god, this haircut makes me look like a Weimar German artist who joined the Nazi party early on. You know what I mean? Like that kind of
yeah. Yeah.
It's not an inherently Nazi-ish look.
Fascist schoolboy, the fascist schoolboy haircut. I think I know what you're talking about.
Like a little bit, yeah. A more bohemian version of that, yeah.
Right.
Not quite a Nazi undercut, but close. And so I decided I would trim it a little more, and then I was like, oh shit, now I just have revealed my cowlick. So I tried to cut the front of my cowlick, and it cut right down so that it was really short, and it looked like I had a bald spot on the front of my head, and I was like, oh fuck, there is no way I'm going to be able to actually deal with this by normal means, and I shaved my head.
Oh, so now you're bald. You're like a bald ferret.
Well, I didn't shave my head with a razor. I used an electric trimmer, so it's a
very
really
short
buzz cut. Right?
Yeah, my mom used to make me get that haircut whenever I went to the barber for any reason, so...
I mean, it looks like
I get how you go. I get how you feel.
I used to have really short hair too, actually. Prior to being I want to say it was 2011 or so when we first started realizing, hey, I actually kind of look good with hair.
I linked to my Reddit.
Now, it's
what?
Hold
Hold on, sorry to interrupt, but we've got a linkage crisis. What did I accidentally do? Yeah, I absolutely accidentally linked to my Reddit profile.
Oh, awkward. So I guess that the only functional link is the one in the Lame Zone Discord now. So
I slid one in search of, but
so I mean, Avra might show up. I would like that. She's chill.
Why did I even have that on the clip?
Possibly, I would hope that maybe Shell would show up. She's a fun, weird person. Unfortunately, Lauren is usually she feels a little awkward with streams.
That's fair.
Yeah, she has some anxiety stuff, which is it's okay.
It's understandable.
But yeah, there are a few other people, but I think that most of them, when they do show up, don't really comment.
It happens. No one has to talk.
What's up to all my...
Also, Nanner, actually, definitely thank you for telling me that, because I would never have known otherwise.
Yeah, thanks, Nanners.
That's
doing
Nanner
a public
from
service.
the Trigger Chord, among other
Lord's
places.
I mean, that's what I say about a lot of things, actually.
The
doing the Lord's work.
Lord.
But anyway, yeah, hair.
The Trap Lord. AKA ASAP Ferg, apparently.
Ride with the mob.
Yeah, I've heard that like Trap Lord was really fun, but like some of his more recent projects aren't quite as good.
Trap Lord by who?
ASAP Ferg.
Oh yeah, he actually used to be my favorite guy in the ASAP mob, and now he's not anymore because he hasn't released a good thing in a while.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's like I remember Fantana was like super into Trap Lord, and then was like basically every single review he's done of like any of his later albums is like, eh. And it's
Yeah,
like,
I think he's trying to like be a crossover artist, which is not where his strengths lie.
yeah, he seems like more the kind of guy who's like, he's like the very, like, I don't know, like, he's like, he makes the kind of, like, he's best at that lane of music for people who are into that lane of music already, I guess, is what
I was gonna say he kind of reminds me of Sean Price with a different voice.
Well, I only have really listened to and enjoyed like Plain Jane, but I really like that song.
That's a more recent one. Yeah.
In
Yeah,
no
that's
small
from
part
last
due to
year,
the
I
fact
think.
that it's basically just Slob on My Knob, but done in 2017.
That's true.
See
He also
also
had
No Limit by G-Eazy.
he also had East Coast, which I didn't like the song that much by itself, but it had one of those remixes with like 8 people on them, and I always like those.
Ooh. Those are fun. Yeah, I mean, it's like not necessarily, you know, like the kind of things that typically have the remixes with like 8 people generally aren't my scene overall, but like I still appreciate it, and it's always fun to like have like, like all kinds of people like just bring their A game on something,
Yeah.
and one after the other, and
I'm actually
just
gonna
having fun.
turn you guys up just a little bit more, cause
That's
I don't know
reasonable.
if it's just that I'm kind of out of it because I had caffeine like a while ago and I'm now kind of crashing, or if it's just that you're actually hard to hear. I can't really tell.
It might be that I'm quiet.
Could be both.
I probably should like let's see.
Well, what you should do is you should get some pierogies and then.
Oh no. All right,
Um.
so I turned my own volume up a little.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you guys okay now, I think. Maybe I had Gungeon up too high. I did turn that down too.
Yeah, okay. But like but yeah, so as I sort of joked with my mom, there are 3 things that I could possibly look like. Well, actually, I joked about this with a couple people. The most morbid one is I do look like I'm gravely ill. But if, people don't assume that I have cancer, then they're probably going to assume either that like I am a skinhead, hopefully the non-Nazi kind. I was thinking like, 80s ska punk band. I'm the hype man that does like dances. Where, like shouts catchphrases. Like that one guy in Madness who, like, his whole role was to do stupid dances and shout catchphrases on stage for them.
The ska version
like
of Flava Flav.
Although...
Oh yeah, that was his whole, that was a little later, but like Madness were doing that like in 79, 1980.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a thing that comes from, originally from, reggae and stuff. And like that's actually sort of one of the many origins of rap is the hype man who does the, what's known as toasting in reggae. Yeah, and that especially was common in like dub, and you have like the guy who, like
Bullet
talks up the artist and whatnot.
Yeah,
but,
I have the lowercase r, which is the best item in the game.
But
Bullet.
So like
Sredni.
But
Sredni.
Yes.
Bullet.
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 Oh, it's oh, and it says blam when people die.
Yeah, and the reload animation is like a backslash
Oh God, it's
casket.
a ghost now. You
Oh no,
shoot
that's a
ghosts.
different enemy.
It looks like a ghost though.
Yeah, the ghosts with AK-47s.
Hollow Point.
Are they
Yeah,
Russian ghosts or are they like insurgent Chechen ghosts?
ethnicity does
That'd be
not matter
scary.
in the Gungeon.
Okay, but I mean, I'm trying to figure out what funny accent they should have.
I mean, I call bullshit on the cubes that are managing to float past the like spike pit things, but go off, I guess.
Oh, those like, hey, do you get do you get like a version of a ladies' home companion here?
What is Lady's Home Companion?
The ladies' home companion was developed by it's okay. So there was a shotgun which was a revolving shotgun marketed as the Street Sweeper by Cobre
Huh.
or Colbray, who and it was so offensively marketed that like got the attention of the ATF and they sort of like you have to have it registered to buy one, and they were shitty to begin with, and they were knockoffs of a South African design. Um, but the Ladies' Home Companion was
Who's a
an attempt to
hexagon?
make that, but like that would be street legal. So it's technically a pistol, but it's gauged like a shotgun,
Oh, actually,
and it has a revolving magazine.
I think the freaking what's it called? Like the wood chester or something is supposed to be that because there's
Oh no, there are
like a
other
really
revolving shotguns,
there's like a
but
really short shotgun and the pickup text is like something about served with a bushel of roses, I think.
it might be at least partly a joke about that, like because like
There's a lot of
some of the
like
jokes here are gun nerd
yeah,
jokes,
there's a lot of like
but like
gun jokes in this game
yeah,
in the Gungeon in the
yeah, like
Gungeon.
but yeah, like the the but yeah, it was like it's notorious for being one of the worst made guns of all time because it's so poorly weighted that you can't actually really carry it with one hand, but it's designed to be carried with only one hand.
Hmm.
So you can't actually fire it without like sticking your hand essentially like unless you have really strong arms on the the barrel, which would
Hmm.
burn your hand. It's really stupid.
Bit of a
So
design
what
flaw
we
there,
don't do.
Chief.
Yeah, it's like one of the most notoriously bad firearms ever.
Is
And
there a
like Code Red
subreddit for like terrible
were known
guns?
for
I bet there is.
there's a really actually interesting like I got turned on to it by Alex from LRR talking about them because he has like a nerdy fascination with these things. There is a YouTube channel called Forgotten Weapons which tends to talk about like really esoteric firearms, and while I'm not a huge firearms person, they are fascinating because like they talk about like these ones that are like at specialist auctions and things which tend to
Huh.
be like relatively rare or weird, and sometimes they pull out like really wacky ones, like things that should not exist
Hello,
and were
Win.
never really used. They're just kind of
Weird.
like impractical bullshit, mechanisms, or even ones that like work but never really had any. Like, for example, there's this thing that was used by the Indonesian army, theoretically used by the Indonesian army, which is essentially a pistol with a rifle butt stuck to it.
But
And it was and the main reason it was the main place
what
it was
is
used
this?
of all places was the Canadian Reserves,
Huh.
because they have these old ass things. So when Canadian troops were sent out to Iraq
Hmm.
to back up the Americans and the Brits in relatively recently, they would sometimes get handed these old-ass handguns with rifle stocks, which were originally made to send to Indonesia to back up the government there.
Also, Wynn says they watch Forgotten Weapons.
Yeah, it's a
It
fun time.
sounds
Also,
like an interesting channel.
yeah, it's like, you know, there's also, it mostly avoids like the vibe, the kind of skeevy vibe you get with some, like, gun related things.
Yeah, like
Like the guy who hosts that seems way more chill and insane. Like,
as like an
he knows these
academic
are
interest instead of like
well, it's like he likes them, but he's also like he's interested as much in a sort of a historical capacity, and these are kind of
not
fascinating
the sort
devices.
of person that wants to fuck the gun, as sometimes you get that vibe.
No. It's like he's really like the guy comes off as like genuinely really interested and passionate about these things while not being like creepy about it. And I
Yeah,
like that.
I understand.
I mean, and frankly, like I can understand that sort of thing with, like because guns are interesting. It's
Ooh,
just
a
that they are also
fossilized
killing machines and you need to respect them. And also, people don't need to be carrying around fucking AK-47s and AR-15s in public.
This PSA about gun control brought to you by the Shapes and Forms group.
Yes. Peace, peace. I'm
Indeed.
doing the silly hand gesture like Yotsugi in
That's the girl that
Bakemonogatari.
Heinz likes a lot. And also
Yeah, she is
Monkey
a good
Girl.
character. She's also 100 years old and eats people.
You know, as one does.
Well, I
I
mean, she doesn't actually
completely
eat anybody in the show, but she does actually, like, at one point, Araragi is shirtless, and she looks at his abs, and it's ambiguous whether she wants to eat him like a zombie or whether she thinks he's hot, and it makes him really uncomfortable, which is a great reversal from how Araragi normally frames things as a narrator. Because, like, when he's put in the position of being objectified, he's super uncomfortable with it.
he
It's actually pretty funny.
is the lad.
Yeah, it's like
I'm sorry,
Araragi.
that was like maybe
The
the
man's.
least interesting thing I have ever said on this show.
But, like, yeah, like, Araragi is at once kind of the worst thing about Bakemonogatari and actually one of the more interesting things about it. Or the Monogatari franchise, rather.
Speaking of anime, and since we brought this up very briefly before the stream,
Anime.
anime, yes.
Anime.
You should be watching. Who's pinging me on Discord?
Funimation Entertainment.
Who pinged
You should
me?
be watching.
Their logo is terrible.
You should be watching our fucking tubs.
Watch our fucking side mule casts.
We have fake manana.
Anyway,
Nice.
so on the server Wednesday night, we did a group watch of all the things that have been added to Crunchyroll as like first episodes, so like season premieres.
Oh, so literally all sequels.
No, we actually excluded the stuff that was sequels. So there were like
So you watched 2 shows.
we watched I think 7.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's actually more than I expected.
The news is not all good.
Oh, no.
A couple of them were like good or like fine, but just not my thing. And a couple of them were really quite terrible.
Okay, in what category falls the one with the dragons and the JSDF?
That is not on Crunchyroll, and I don't think it started yet.
Oh.
Yeah, most of the stuff that we watched was not things I was even aware were airing.
Oh.
With the exception of Pretty Derby, which I will get to in a moment. there
that's
was
the one
like
with the horse
yeah,
girls.
we will talk about Pretty Derby because I have
Oh
a
no.
lot of thoughts on that show.
Was it pervy? Was it pervy?
we will get to Pretty Derby.
All things
But
in due time,
yeah,
Sredni.
on the good side of things was this short show that I had no idea was airing called Space Battleship Tiramasu, I think, and it's like this really
Wait, it's related to Yamato, isn't it?
no, it's like I think the name is
Huh.
like a take on that, but they're not actually
Oh,
related.
okay.
It's like a really
Huh.
willfully dumb parody of like space opera anime
Okay, so it's
and
a parody of Yamato.
other things,
Yeah.
including various
Oh, yeah,
mecha
okay.
franchises.
Legend of the Galactic Heroes, all that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, that aired too. The
Oh yeah,
MOGH
no,
reboot.
I wasn't talking about the new Legend of the Galactic Heroes. That's a whole other thing.
One of the
Apparently
things
it's
that
okay.
yeah, one of the things that it parodied,
One
I
of
guess.
the original
It's
sources of parody.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was saying. Is like everybody like knows Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Legend of the Legendary Heroes,
Legend of the
whole
Legend of the
franchise.
Legend of Legends. Legendary.
That's
Rise
actually
of
the
dawn
that's
of the war for the planet of the apes.
But yeah, Legend of the Legendary Heroes is one of the spin-offs of Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I think it's a poor translation of a more nuanced
like
sounding
title that makes sense. Yeah. Um.
Yeah.
So we watched that, and it's about like a guy who pilots a giant robot, and he likes to eat food in his cockpit, and
Same.
it's mostly
Hmm.
just about that, honestly. But it's pretty.
It's
fun.
mostly about food jokes.
No, it's like the joke is that it's seriously like a lot of it is just like he's piloting he's eating while he's piloting, and that's hilarious. But it actually kind of is. Also, at one point, he takes off all of his clothes for poorly defined reasons.
I mean,
And
as
then,
he does.
he's like taking a shower back on the spaceship, and one of the like really burly military men hits on him.
Well, actually, I
Yeah.
kind of,
Death.
I kind of actually like that to some degree.
It's
It-
not like groundbreaking, but I thought it was pretty funny, and because the episodes are only 7 minutes long, I'm probably gonna keep up with it.
It does
Okay.
sound amazing.
And also, like, I mean, it is worth noting, incidentally, that the traditional Japanese sort of stereotype, I guess you would say, that's associated with gay dudes is that they are very manly. It's
Yeah,
like, which is something that you don't see as much in anime, especially recently. But,
it
it's
actually
like-
struck me as because I totally thought they were gonna go for like a ha ha gay joke, and
Yeah,
they kind of
but
just didn't, and it was
and I
more
appreciate that.
like
It's
more of like a general thing, and I appreciated that. But
It's more like, I'm just sort of finding it funny because it's like, this character is kind of, as in like the main character is kind of a slightly like, from what I'm gathering, a bit of a slightly obnoxious doofus, but apparently he's hot.
slightly is not. He's just kind of a dipshit. Like
He's an obnoxious doofus,
Yeah.
and but he's attractive enough that somebody wants to bone him.
yeah.
Somebody.
Anyway,
Is
the
he
other-
good looking? Is he a good-looking boy?
I don't think so, but if you're into a different kind of dude than I am, then maybe.
I'll have
And
to look it
it's
up to
like
see if
kind of a
he's a
very
handsome
the
boy.
art style's kind of goofy, so I don't know.
I
looks
will
like
I will see if he is a sexy boy.
Like a dude.
Like an air song. But the other one that we watched that was pretty good, that I thought was pretty good, was the heck is it called? Gaga Gaga or something like that.
Oh, Giga no kick, get Kitaro.
Yeah, that one.
Kitaro.
It's like a new adaptation of a manga that's been running since like the 70s or something.
Oh, yeah, since the 60s. Yeah, there are multiple adaptations of it. The most recent one was in like 2008 and is apparently really, really good. And that was called a Hakaban Kitaro, Graveyard Kitaro.
So
Hiromatsu.
that's premiered. I didn't realize that it was related to an older thing, but I didn't feel left out when I watched it. I thought that was like all right. I don't know if I'll keep up with it, but
what was the name of the one which was the space battleship one?
Space Battleship Tiramisu, I think. I might be remembering wrong. You can just go to the shows tab on Crunchyroll and then sort by updated, and it should be in there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure that show's designed to give you your just desserts.
Food.
Oh dear. But okay, okay, so other show you were watching, Gege no Kitaro. Yeah, that's about a boy who's raised by ghosts.
Yeah, his dad is like a little eyeball man. Pretty interesting.
It's like,
and also,
he always has his hair over one side of his face.
Yeah.
It has good character designs.
They are distinctive. I don't know if they're 100% my bag, but they're definitely...
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Not bad.
Also, I saw a few animation cuts from it, and it was, from the recent one, the newest one, because I'd seen a little tiny bit of the 2008 one, and I actually really liked it. It has this newer one has a similar look to the 2008 one, and that has kind of the sort of rough colors, if you know what I mean. It's almost like there's a pattern that doesn't move, or does move, but it's not in the same way as the lines do. And but in the recent one, I saw some of the animation cuts, and it's some of the animation in that is gorgeous.
It is a very good looking show. I think it's a Toei project.
Yeah, Toei can be kind of all over the place with their scheduling, which means some of their shows don't look as good consistently. But when they're on the ball, because they are one of the biggest and most established studios, they can pull in some really good people.
Yeah. And
I don't have anything particularly to add here. I just want to point out that Wynn said that Logan Paul turned into a tree.
Oh yeah, so there's you know how these kinds of shows have
fucking tree.
Yeah, these kinds of shows tend to have a victim of the week, and they're usually kind of an asshole. In the first episode, the guy is actually a YouTuber, and he has this video where he rips a seal off of a gravestone, I think, and he gets turned into a vampire tree. Paul. Yeah,
so he's Logan Paul.
He is Logan Paul. If Logan Paul was actually kind of attractive, which he's not.
He's massive fuckboy. Massive fuckboy disrespects the dead and turns into a tree.
Yeah.
Because he's got
a vampire tree.
Are more attractive.
Yeah. So that was the other show that I thought was pretty good. We also
tiramisu,
watched...
tiramisu.
Yeah, it's some kind of food.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's okay.
Yeah.
5, 6 out of 10.
Sredni's boyometer.
Strong 5.
God.
No, well, okay. Maybe I'll upgrade it to a decent 6. He's he's got the light hint of Twinkie being shown in a good way, just a little. But he could use upgrading. 10 out of 10 is like Sheena from Yona of the Dawn or something, who's just ridiculously hot.
And there you have the basis for Sredni's boy scale.
There are good boys. There are good boys who I can rate very highly. I'll have to find you some examples.
RateMyAnimeBoy.com.
I also rate boys highly. If I'm not necessarily don't necessarily find them sexually attractive, but they're just like, this is a good boy.
You should
This is
start a website
aesthetically
called.
pleasing and good.
You should start a website called husbandos.com.
Husbandos.com. I would, yeah.
Yeah, there's some stuff that I'm looking forward to that hasn't come out, like hasn't started airing yet. But so that was like the good part of what we watched. We watched the Legends of the Galactic Heroes reboot, which Win doesn't seem to be.
Win is very angry about
a
that.
big fan of. I have never seen the original, so I mostly just kind of found it dull. And the art looks weird. Like, I don't know how to put my finger on it, but it just kind of looks... It's, like, stuck between this weird place where it wants to look like the old show, but also wants to look like a modern anime, so it has this kind of...
awkward.
Like,
in an attempt to replicate both, it ends up being like a weird mishmash that
it's
makes
got
it
like
feel
this
like neither.
So, like, the
almost
opposite
visual
of what works
uncanny
about, the
Osamatsu.
opposite of what works... I was going to say the opposite of what works about something like Devilman Crybaby or Osamatsu, where it's slightly modernized in a way that isn't, like, intrusive. It's more a melding of the sensibilities of the director and the original artist in a way that's cohesive to the vision they're going for.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it just looked strange.
It's the opposite of that, is what I'm saying. Like Devilman Crybaby, I saw somebody saying earlier that they thought the designs were ugly, and I thought, dude, I think they're ugly in exactly the right way.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be... Like, Go Nagai's stuff is rough-edged and, like, kind of nasty. And
the manga does have a very, like, raw sort of look to it. And
it's un-anime is what it is. It's like really not exactly angular, but you know what I mean? Like the people's eyes are shaped in a very un-anime kind of way. There's like a kind of warp. There's like this kind of punk ethos to it that runs throughout it, but it's also very detailed when it gets into the really extreme, trippy stuff. And
I like
what's
that
great
Win
about Go Nagai
is most mad about the new Galactic Heroes is that a favorite character of theirs is less attractive. Fair enough.
My husbando isn't hot enough.
But
insufficiently hot husbando.
But that was like middle of the pack in terms of what we watched, and then I'm gonna save Pretty Derby for last because again I have a lot to talk about there. But at the very bottom, no, actually it is not. The very bottom of the pile.
Save the bottom of the barrel for last.
Well, the bottom of the barrel is so bad that there's almost not much to talk about, especially in the visual department.
Leave it for right before Pretty Derby.
Well, no, we're at that point now. Because I don't remember anything else about the other stuff we watched.
So it was, like, boring enough that... Actually, there's a worse sin... that's almost a worse sin than being terrible. It's just being boring as shit.
Yeah. I agree, actually. But the very worst...
In some of these manga covers, the, what's-his-face from Tiramisu is actually kind of hot, so I'm going to bump him up to a 7.5.
Running updates on the boyometer.
I think he's slightly sexier. Actually, he's reasonably sexy on the book covers. But, like, it seems like, you know, from the animation stills, I guess I'd have to see him actually in motion to get the full husbando meter going.
The full husband experience.
But the full husbando meter requires either motion or a significant number of stills to fully imprint.
And now we know. The very worst one we watched, at least in my opinion, was the new Fist of the North Star thing.
I didn't even know that was
it's like an adaptation of a manga that is a distant prequel to the movie. I don't know. the relationship between the two is convoluted. It doesn't actually directly relate to the original movie, so you didn't like need to have seen it.
Or the original series, you mean?
Series, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because it was a manga for like a long time.
Yeah, point being, it doesn't
Yeah,
directly relate to that, or at least the
yeah,
first episode didn't.
I understand.
Um,
Was there a lot of punchy?
yeah, but the problem. All right, so people know because I like Black Rock Shooter and a couple other things. I have no problem with all or mostly CGI anime, at least in a theoretical sense.
Oh, oh no, but that's not
but
gonna work for Fist of the North Star.
it's not just that it doesn't work; it's that they look actually horrendous. Like,
Oh no.
Oh, so we're talking like Berserk
Berserk.
2017?
like only
God.
very slightly better.
Damn.
Like there's more motion and stuff, but it just
But
looks
actually,
really like.
Actually, that's kind of like I saw an interesting video talking about how essentially, in a way, that's the problem with Berserk 2017 is like that the whole appeal of Berserk is being able to look at it like it's a fucking painting, and then just making everything move all the time, combined with like the kind of janky models, is like
I've actually
the worst possible
not
thing.
seen the infamous Berserk CGI. I've seen like clips from it and stuff, but
Oh,
it's
the
not.
clips tell you enough.
Yeah, like it's not that bad, but it's pretty far down there. We're talking like sub Expelled from Paradise CGI.
Oh, I've seen a little of Expelled from Paradise. I already know your opinions on it, but I saw a
I
little
fucking
of it
hate
and,
that
like,
movie. It's really
I
bad,
know.
and people like it, and I don't know why.
It doesn't. Yeah, the CGI in that is kind of ugly. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
and
like
it's just
the only thing that's well animated in Expelled from Paradise, like the only thing that looks good is the main character and some of the robots, and
you
like
know
the
what?
10 minutes they spend in cyberspace.
Yeah, it's like just it looks like a video game,
It
but like
does, and that's
from
actually
like a particular period.
kind of the same problem with the new Fist of the North Star thing. It just looks like a different genre of video game.
Oh dear. So like it's
Like
more like
PS3 fighting game, kind of, but
I was
like
gonna
not a
say
good
that
one.
like Fist of the North Star is like a bad fighting game, whereas Expelled from Paradise is like a mid-tier
RPG or
from that
something.
period.
Yeah. But it looks terrible, and the story I don't know, maybe it's something you care about more if you know more about Fist of the North Star, but I just couldn't make myself care. Also,
Yeah,
like
I
a
understand.
really weird soundtrack. The opening theme song is like pop rap, and then the ending theme song is dubstep. So
So they
interesting
were
stuff
trying
going on
So they
there.
tried to make one of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure openings
Actually,
into a show.
Agumame from the Trigger Chord was there, and he compared it to like a bad version of a JoJo show, which is something he knows a lot more about
Yeah.
than me.
Yeah, JoJo's is well. Honestly, my favorite JoJo's is Part 4 thus far, and I feel
Except
like
I
yeah,
kind of like JoJo's openings though. Like
JoJo's
Yeah.
openings have charm. I was just
Yeah,
saying
like
that.
it's like a bad version of the JoJo openings.
Oh,
Is what is
yeah,
my
yeah.
understanding from people who know more
Like
about
because
JoJo than I
JoJo's
do.
openings have weird CGI, but they're like, so over the top that it's glorious. Whereas if you like underplay that just a little, it could be real bad.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. It's just not pleasant to look at, and not in a way that seems like it was done deliberately. Like they seem like they were trying to go for actually good, and they missed by a pretty wide margin.
And given the fact that Land of the Lustrous came out like
Last year and looked pretty good. Yeah.
not just pretty good, there are scenes that I haven't seen like much of the show like overall, but like there are scenes in that which are fucking gorgeous.
It's one of the...
You have no goddamn... Okay, maybe that's the top of the line, so I can accept slightly lower tier than that. But there are better-looking CGI shows than...
Well, I mean, again, the one I always come back to is Black Rock Shooter, which came out in
Black Rock
2011.
Shooter has a lot of that, yeah,
and is, like, the CGI segments in that, which is, like, a good half of the show, is gorgeous. Like...
And then, oh god.
One of my favorite anime
and
visually.
Then the studio that did Bubuki Baranki and a few other things, they've done, like, a bunch of different stuff, and it's, it's, like, at least interesting to look at and it's really good character design. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing, is, like, all the characters in the Fist of the North Star thing kind of look very similar.
Yeah, I mean, like in the original kind of thing. Well, the funny thing is, like, with, like, the original designs with the characters in Fist of the North Star, now that I think of it...
Ready? Oh no!
You can tell the part.
You lost the ferret for a little bit.
You cut out for a little bit.
I don't know what you mean, because you cut out.
Oh, when did I cut out?
For, like, you said... the character designs in the original Fist of the North Star, and then you went to space for a little bit, and now you're back.
Oh, I was going to say, the characters in the original Fist of the North Star, right? Like, they kind of, like, have similar builds and things, but you can tell them apart.
Yeah, actually, there was this one bit where I thought that two different characters were the same person wearing a different outfit.
Which you wouldn't do with, like, even, like, the super, like... janky old 80s cartoon of
Yeah,
it. Like, you can tell them apart.
Like, I mean, I talk a lot of shit about fucking, it's Expelled from Paradise, because it's a bad movie, and I hate it, but the characters are distinguishable from one another. Like...
Yeah. Like,
it just doesn't look nice, is mainly the thing. I mean,
and then also, another example... Land of the Lustrous, everybody has, with a few exceptions, have the same build, and
but you can tell them apart. Yeah,
you can act apart.
Yeah,
and the fact that they are similar is half the point, and yet you can still tell them apart.
Yeah, because they have the different facial structure going on and different hair and eye colors,
and also. They I know they move different.
Buddy, you're going to space
Walk
again.
Differently.
Sredni?
Hello? Oh shit! Did I lean on? Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Hello?
Hello?
You're there.
Am I here?
Yes.
You are there.
All right.
That's good.
I'm here.
Good.
A week or two ago, I, dropped the iPad while my headphones were in, so it whacked the jack in a weird way.
It whacked the jack!
Whacking, jacking, whacking.
Oh, not in that
He's
way.
hacking and smacking, chopping that meat.
Hey, okay,
Big
so
meat
am I audible
Big
right
meat
now?
man. Yeah, you're good.
You are.
You sound a little far away.
Oh.
Now you're good.
Hello?
Now you're good.
Oh, it's just where my, where my mic is, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
Anyway.
I'm leaning in a weird position.
But
anyway, what I was saying was, that the fact is, with Land of the Lustrous, a part of the point is that they do look similar, but they are all easily distinguishable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, so if you fuck that up...
Then what do you have,
Yeah.
And you fuck it up with Fist of the North Star, I guess, it's... granted, they are, all super muscle men, but they're,
I just feel like it's kind of a bad fit.
Wasteland mob people. They're supposed to be each distinctive because they all have their fucking leather jacket.
The prequel thing does take place in
the 30s.
Yeah, the 1930s, which is a weird choice, but
that is a very strange choice.
It's based off of a manga, and apparently the manga is really good, but it just doesn't translate to anime. At least not a CGI anime. So that's Blue Sky or whatever the fuck it was called, the Fist of the North Star thing. Um,
Tell me about Pretty Derby, Jane.
yeah. So
The ferret needs to
Pretty
hear your
Derby
opinions
is
about the
a
horse anime.
fucking bizarre show. Um, like the thing that kills me about Pretty Derby. So, to my understanding, it is actually based off of a mobile game because of fucking course it is.
I mean, actually,
Which is not
are,
which is
you know,
not a like damnable thing in of itself.
yeah.
Like Princess
Like,
Principal was based off of a mobile game, and that's a very good show.
And I mean, people really liked Kimono Friends.
Yeah, that too.
And that
Was the
they didn't even
Idolmaster-
release that mobile game.
Was
It
the
got
Idolmaster a mobile game first?
It was
I
a
think so.
game, but I don't
Maybe.
remember if it was a mobile
Or some
game.
kind of game, yeah.
I think Idolmaster has been like a long-running franchise for a while, but I'm not
Yeah, it
100%
has.
sure.
But like in general, like I think it was the Pedantic Romantic. She argued that, and I've been confirmed on the uses she/her pronouns thing. It argued at one point that actually mobile games are really potentially interesting sort of adaptational thing because you can just essentially go wherever you want with it so long as you use the
Yeah.
character models.
So
Yeah.
the strange thing about Pretty Derby
Okay.
is, like, how do I put this? Like, it doesn't feel like it's trying to be weird, but it's super fucking weird, and
Like Outsider.
not that kind of weird, even. Like, let me just explain the premise of the show. So, in the world of the show, alongside normal humans, are girls who have horse ears and tails. And they are... The opening briefly alludes to this, and then it's not brought up again for the rest of the episode. They are somehow related to horses in another world. It is implied to be our world. And they also have the names of these horses. So if you have ever watched a horse race, it will not surprise you to learn that the main character's name is Special Week.
I was gonna guess Manowar.
No, no, they don't use any of the good horse names, just the, like, frustratingly stupid ones. There's another character named Vodka.
So no, like, Seabiscuit?
Nah.
No, we're talking more like Mind That Bird.
Yeah, well, they're all, for one thing, they're all Japanese racehorses. I didn't know that racehorsing was big in Japan, but apparently it is.
Race horsing, I think it's horse racing.
That's what I meant to say, yeah.
So
Words
it's
are hard.
It's the anime created for Kentuckians.
I guess.
In anime Kentucky.
Again, I will point
Japanese
out
Kentuckians.
that one of the other characters is named fucking Vodka. But
God.
that's not even the weird part. The weird part is that, like,
Vodka.
okay, so the characters are horse girls, as in human girls with a couple horse-esque...
Kimono Mimi.
Yeah, horse-esque features. They got big horse ears on top of their head in addition to the regular ears, and they got horse tails coming out of their back. Not anything...
Okay, that's weird if they have, like... What's weird to me is whenever they have, like, both sets of ears.
Yeah, they do have both sets of ears, I think. But
that's a little disconcerting, because honestly, it's way less intrusive to me to just have, like, the long hair that you can't see if they have a second set of ears.
I forget if that's, like, given attention. I don't remember. I want to say they have both sets, though. But, so they're human girls, basically, with some horse-like features. And the show can't decide whether they are more human or more horse. Yeah. So, like, the main character, who again is named Special Week, and I'm never, ever going to get over that.
Special Week?
Special Week, as in, like, the days of the week.
I thought initially when you were saying it that it was Special Wheat.
No, weak, as in like.
Although that would be pretty good too.
Yeah, that would also be. Again, horse names don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, they don't.
But
They have to be. Like, it's sort of like
also
with
she
with
has.
show dogs and show cats, is that they have to be distinct consistently as part of the thing.
Also, she has what I have occasionally seen described as lesbian hair, where it's mostly one color, but then she's got like a shock of another color right down the middle.
Like a multicolored highlights sort of thing.
Yeah.
So like
She's got like her that, but like it's more of her hair is the one.
Oh, okay.
It's like bigger than that. So she's got like she's like a horse girl who dyes her hair, unless she's born that way. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's Maybelline. Who can say?
She might be because she's a horse.
Yeah, like honestly, who the fuck knows? Anyway, so that's part of it. Is like they're human in that way, but also they can run really fast. So there's this scene.
Does she have hair like a honey badger in Killing Bites?
I have never seen Killing Bites, and
I've heard it's really dumb.
It's apparently not very good.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, yeah, that's I'm aware of that, but like, there's a point where I have kind of a soft spot for super schlocky exploitation.
Yeah,
things.
but like I've been told that it starts out as like so bad it's good, and then it gets like horrible. It was my understanding, but again, I haven't seen it.
Like it goes from like fun bad to not fun bad.
Yeah, like actually horrendous, and maybe even like a little bit morally reprehensible.
Oh. I mean, I know that it starts out, like, morally dubious in the same way that, like, any shitty exploitation thing does. But, like, I can see it getting way worse than that.
But, that aside, so they run really fast. And there's this one scene early on where she misses the bus to go to school. So she runs to catch up with the bus. And she's like running alongside the bus, and the fucking FX are no. When I say the FX, I mean the sound effects. Instead of a person running, it is very obviously the sound of horse hooves clopping against.
Of course it is.
The track. And her biggest dream is to be the greatest racing horse in Japan. And that's where the show starts going from funny, weird, to genuinely sort of uncomfortable. Because she gets, like, kind of scouted. She's at like, a horse race event. And she's watching... This part's actually kind of funny. She's watching, another horse racing who was, like, the tall, aloof senpai type, and there's like this whole bit about how she admires this other horse girl so much. Yeah.
Oh my.
Anyway, so while she's at that...
Okay, I wanted to leave this to the end, but frankly, with that, I have to ask this already. To what degree is this meant for the people who are clearly jacking it to it?
I don't know. And that's what frustrates me. But hang on, there's more. So while she is there, she gets like scouted by a horse trainer, which is apparently still a profession in this universe. And the horse trainer, who is a middle-aged man with a the thing where he's got a buzz cut on the sides, but then also a ponytail.
Oh yeah,
he's got that hairstyle, and
so like a mullet but braided.
He gets her attention by feeling up her leg, and again, that's about where it goes from like kind of funny weird to genuinely sort of uncomfortable. And she kicks him in the face because this is how anime works. Um, and he comes back later, but the point is that it's really fucking weird. Like, it's one thing for a show to be weird intentionally for, like, artistic reasons. And
it's a completely different thing for it to be unusual in the way where, like, you watch it and you're like, are the creators of this well?
Yeah,
are you good?
I don't know how much of the weird uncomfortableness is intentional. And my fear is that, like, none of it is. Because at the end of the episode, she gets literally kidnapped and, like, drafted into this guy's horse racing team. Which, again, the horses are also people.
So
this is extremely problematic.
That's one way to put it.
It brings up more questions than one is willing to ask.
Yeah, like, just fold the fuck on.
In, like, as the old-timey people put it?
It's
or just plain old, what the fuck?
Like,
damn.
I don't get it. Like, and Heinz said the same thing. Like, we almost want to keep watching it because we can't figure out what it's doing and why. Like,
oh my!
Oh, I actually got an item out of that. That's
so cool. So if it is a fetish thing, it's a really weird fetish thing.
Or just, like, whoever made it genuinely doesn't realize how fucking bizarre they've made this.
Yeah.
Which would be worse.
They accidentally made it, like, they were trying to make a thing that was, like, just an odd, goofy, kind of fetishy thing, and they accidentally made it really weird.
And they accidentally made, like, I don't even know. Like, I can't think of anything to compare it to. It's just, like, part of me wants the show to, and I know it's not going to do this, which is why, like, the counterpoint to continuing to watch it, because I feel like I'm just going to be disappointed. But part of me wants the show to suddenly get really fucking dark and be, like, about the struggles of horse girls on their quest for liberation.
Yeah. Wow. Do you know, like, I was sort of thinking of, like, in terms of, like, I was just reminded, like, that, you know, there are shows which, like, are definitely, like, unexpectedly, intentionally weird. Like, from what I gathered about Kimono Friends is, like, it never gets super dark, but there is that undercurrent of weird throughout the whole thing. And it's very clear by the end that it is post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
You know?
Pretty Derby is, like,
aggressive
that,
or anything.
But it doesn't know that it's like that.
It doesn't know that it's wrong.
It doesn't know.
I'm still waiting to see if my prediction about horse girls being rode by people ends up being a thing.
No, okay, actually, no, they did show a horse race, and thank God, but no, they actually do just run on two legs by themselves.
Like, it would be better if their jockeys were actually, like, a different species in turn of little tiny people who sit on their shoulders and, like, guide them with encouraging comments.
Oh, God.
That would be the most amazing thing.
But yeah, like, show's really fucking weird, basically.
Yeah, I can imagine this being kind of unsettling.
We gotta run with the wild horses.
It's just I don't know. Like, my hope is that enough good stuff ends up coming out this season that I don't feel compelled to waste time watching it, because I know I'm gonna be disappointed. Because I've done this before. Like, watch something that's bad but in an interesting way in the hope that it gets better at some point, and it never does.
Don't watch shitty anime inside, says the bag. You open it and there's a shitty anime.
Oh no. I mean...
Out tumbles the Katana Maiden Season 1 DVD.
I don't know what I expected.
What? How was Katana Maidens ultimately?
I stopped watching it after the 6th episode.
After the 6th episode?
I just got tired of it. It just... The thing I talked about...
I wanted you to watch the whole thing.
Then
so
why don't you fucking watch it? It's still airing. It's
Damn.
2 cores. There's 25 fucking episodes of that thing.
Jesus!
It's only
really?
halfway through, yeah.
Oh my god. Well, I mean... I just have, like... I honestly...
I actually did that without taking any damage.
Like, I have other bad anime I need to watch.
Yeah.
So...
But, yeah,
I'm not sure I have time for Katana Maidens. I need to rewatch Garzy's Wing for my soul.
You know what kills me about shows like that, though, is that a lot of people don't seem to... I realize that the way I'm going to phrase this makes me sound like an absolute dick, but bear with me. A lot of people don't seem to realize that it's terrible. Like, there are people who watch and enjoy Katana Maidens, and I don't know
it's fine.
how.
I think it's fine enjoying stuff that has massive problems.
No. I mean, like, the people think that it's, good.
I was gonna follow that up, though, was, that, however, saying that something doesn't have massive problems when it does is a whole different kettle of fish to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously...
It's just kind of disingenuous.
Yeah, like, obviously, what is and isn't a problem is going to vary depending on the person you ask, but, like, I just don't know how you can watch something like that and be like, yeah, this is great. This is, like, my favorite show of the season. Like,
yeah,
I just don't...
I can understand being like, this is great in the sense that it is very entertaining.
It's like having Charlie Puth as your favorite musician. I just don't get it.
Well, that... I thought that Katana Maidens was, like, entertainingly shitty, though.
It was for a bit, and then, like... The thing that the first episode does, where just, like, way too much shit happens in a given episode, never stops. And after a point, you just stop caring.
I mean, I can kind of see, like, for a certain kind of person, really enjoying that kind of non-stop ridiculousness.
Yeah, that I get.
But then again, saying that is good storytelling as opposed to that is entertaining storytelling.
It's just too much. Like, and I almost kind of wonder if Pretty Derby's going to end up having the same problem, because there is quite a bit that happens in that first episode.
I wonder if it's like, if there's going to be like...
I don't know who made Pretty Derby, actually. Let me look that up real quick.
I'll look up who was involved.
Like the studio.
Well, not just the studio. You need to, like, if you want to know where a show might go, it can be very helpful
look up the
staff.
They usually have the staff list. This is a PA Works show.
Oh, PA Works normally put out pretty good stuff, actually.
Yeah, no, Heinz was saying the same thing.
It's pretty looking, at least.
Yeah, the art's good. I'll say that for it. Like,
the character designs
the art's good,
cute.
and the character designs are, like, varied and visually interesting.
Yeah, they're actually decent.
Hey, this is directed by the same guy who's doing the Hina Matsuri adaptation. That makes me kind of wary. He's doing two shows that are airing at the same time.
Well, the thing is that director does not necessarily mean head of, uh, does not mean that the guy is behind the story. He's just
Hey,
like running the production.
hey, you want to hear a good joke?
Trying to keep shit together.
You want to hear a good joke? This
What?
guy's name is, I don't even know if it's a guy. It might be a lady or who knows.
Keokawa,
who
guy's name.
Also did key animation for Boogie Pop Phantom.
Oh, fun. Yeah, he...
Quite the resume.
Well, I mean, like, key animators tend to do, like, a lot of different stuff. He's directing Hinamatsuri. He directed 2 seasons... Well, the OAV and one of the seasons of Minami K, which I know nothing about.
Yeah, but, like...
Oh, and this art club has a problem.
What is that?
It was a show
I've
about
ever heard of that.
An art club and
that had a problem.
Comedy
angle. Okay, maybe he's just like trying to get his name out there. I just hope that the Hinamatsuri adaptation is good.
Let's see. What studio did the
What is this? The Heroine. I don't think I've ever had this gun before.
I feel like a hero, and you are my heroine.
But, like, I can't see which... Well, because of the way that the, what is it called, is arranged. The way that the, the way that the ANN page is arranged, it's hard to find, like, the lead production studio on things sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, like, so I don't remember what studio did This Art Club Has a Problem. Let's see. Okay, who are the series composers for this? Series composers, Akihiro Ishihara did... What has this person done? They're with Cygames, as in the game producer, I think.
That's probably, like, making sure that nothing in the show happens that'll put people off from buying the game, if I would have to
or
venture a guess.
Or that will, like, affect the quote-unquote canon.
Yeah.
Insofar as it exists. Let's see. Ishihara has been involved in almost nothing except, supervision for the Idolmaster series. And cooperation with Bandai Namco.
Probably in the same role as, like, the guy making sure that nothing untowered happens.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like I guess he's, like, not really an anime guy. He's more of, like, a liaison.
He's a game guy.
Between the game company and the anime company. Yeah.
Okay, and the guy who is the staff, Masafumi Sugiura seems like more of the main series composer, and he usually is credited as Pierre Sugiura, and he did series composition on Barakamon, and also Bottom Biting Bug.
We actually watched that on Crunchy Roulette one night. That shit is terrible.
Oh god, and also was a script on Kuma Miko Girl Meets Bear, which apparently got real bad later.
So my hopes should be even lower than they are already, is what you're saying.
No, but he did series... The one that he, like, actually was a showrunner on was, Barakamon he was a showrunner on.
What is Barakamon? I know I've heard
it is a slice-of-life show about a guy who, is essentially sort of, kind of the adoptive father to a girl, and he's a painter.
Oh, okay, that one. I've heard of that.
And it's apparently really, really good, but it's also a manga adaptation. So to what degree the guy is good at original stuff, it's totally up in the air. We have no fucking idea.
Interesting.
He also worked on He also worked on Yu Yu Shiki.
You mean Yu Yu Shiki?
Or Yu Yu Shiki. Yu Yu
Do
Shiki.
do 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 do. Yu Yu Shiki. That's the wrong music cue, but whatever.
If he wanted to get it really wrong, bum ba dum bum ba dum bum ba dum bum bum.
That's the one that I did. That's definitely not that.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't get the melody there at all.
I'm
That's
not good
that's
at.
the Azumanga
Yeah,
Daioh.
that's the Azumanga Daioh insert music.
Yeah, the eye catch
Huh.
music from Azumanga Daioh.
But
Which
yeah,
is so good.
it is.
I really like the music to Azumanga Daioh.
Azumanga Daioh is just like one of my favorite properties, full stop, ever.
Okay, it doesn't list any people as like individual writers on this show.
It seems like a
yet.
bad sign.
Well,
maybe,
no,
maybe
I mean,
not. But
part of that is because those often get added in as a show is airing, and that people go in afterwards and like add in like script writers and stuff.
God,
But it is a little weird that there are two series composition people, one of whom is a guy who was a go-between for the Idolmaster franchise, and one of whom worked on Barakamon, which is really good, and the Token Rambu adaptation, which nobody cared about, and Bottom Biting Bug, which I think some people liked. And Kumamiko, which everyone involved has disavowed, including him.
That's not very common in anime.
Yeah, everybody was like, fuck no, this was an awful adaptation, and we're sorry.
Huh.
Yeah, apparently some weird shit went down when they were writing the last episodes of that show, or really the show in general, and just
I know
it ended on a real sour note.
Our policy is to never talk about the happenings in the game, but one, I've now gotten 2 guns I've never seen before. 2, this one's just a snake.
With these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking gun.
It's just a snake wrapped around a shotgun. I'm pretty happy about that.
So it's a snot gun?
No snap on snack.
No comment.
Well, it's not a snot gun. It's more like a
Please no Steffi.
Please no Steffi.
Oh, please tread on me.
Please tread on me. Oh yeah. The snake in the ball gag.
No.
Please tread
on me.
I have seen things on the internet, and that's one of my favorite things on the internet is bondage snack. Bondage snack is good. Please tread on me. He's got like a leech attached to his tail.
I'm suffering. It's gonna fucking kill the entire stream and go play Path of Exile instead.
This kills the game.
I mean...
Oh, hey, you know what? Actually, on like a positive note, I don't know if either of you were aware of this, but Adult Swim aired the first episode of Fooly Cooly 3 as an April Fool's prank. And
whoa.
And
that was their big drop that they do like every now and then sometimes. Like I remember they premiered the entire fucking Aqua Teen movie like the year it was supposed to be in theaters, but it was like in the little corner, so you couldn't actually you couldn't actually see any of it.
The way they fucked with people this time was that the entire block was in Japanese with subtitles.
With subtitles?
Yeah, including
subtitles.
Like including both the segments and the shows.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, you mean the subtitles are in English?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if they really wanted to fuck with the people, wouldn't they have just left the Japanese subtitles?
But like Trey was saying, last year a bunch of people got really pissed off at their April Fool's joke because they premiered I think 2 episodes of Rick and Morty a week early, and
it was actually like significantly longer than that. Like I want to say it was a couple of months before season 3 was scheduled to actually start.
Okay. So yeah,
Oh
same
my.
Yeah.
same kind of thing, except with a show that not as many people are as fond of, and also it cut into what was supposed to be the premiere of a new Samurai Jack episode, so
Yeah.
people were pretty pissed. And so I guess this year they decided they would do something nice instead. So they premiered Fooly Cooly 3, the first episode, like literally 6 months early, I think, because Fooly Cooly
Hmm.
3 is supposed to start in September.
Oh
Um,
man.
the thing is, like, 2 and 3 are not directly sequential, so it, like, didn't spoil anything for 2. But what I was
Oh.
gonna say is, I watched it, and it was actually really good.
Nice.
Yay! Okay,
Good to know
so
they still got it.
as it turns out, the chief animation director
Oh, here
and
we go.
character designer on Pretty Derby is like this real, like, workhorse key animator who is mainly known for his action direction
Huh.
What?
and
Interesting.
mecha design on Gravion.
Wow.
And like he's their character designer. So they brought in an action director. Well, he was action director on Excel World, which I don't think anybody liked. But to
That's
be
the
fair,
Psychopath spin-off, right?
no, Excel World is by the same writer as
Sword Art Online, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got
Excel
that
World.
mixed up with something else. I think.
Yeah, it's the one with the little round guy.
The little round guy. Huh. I know I've never seen it, so I don't think I know offhand what you mean, but
He has a very round character design. He's heavy set and very short.
hmm.
And
But yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting. It's like the opposite of the guy making Darling in the Franxx having been the director on like every Idolmaster series in the past couple years.
Yeah, it's the reverse is that this weird horse girl show
Is by a
is
mega guy.
yeah, a guy who's involved in Mecha, in Excel World. What else has he done? Shit, like he's like a key animator on a lot of stuff. Um he has done like what is he most involved in? Lord Marksman and Venatus, whatever the heck that
What the
is.
fuck is
He was
that?
he worked on Gundam Seed Destiny, which
Yeah, that's the one that I think Win really doesn't like. Maybe I'm thinking of a different
yeah,
one.
but he also worked on Iron Blooded Orphans and Gundam Age, Gundam
A lot of
Seed.
Gundam stuff.
Yeah, and Gundam
Oh,
Double
actually, that's
O.
another thing that we watched that I completely forgot about that I actually thought was all right. Was Gundam Build something. It's not Gundam Build Fighters. That's an older series. But it's like just
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, but with Gundams instead. That was pretty good.
Oh my.
So I might keep up with that.
Oh wait, he was also the chief animation director, I think, on Nobunaga the Fool, which I have heard of but don't know much about. Well, he was one of 3 chief kit animation directors
If
because
there's 3
apparently
of
they
them, they're
shift
not
around.
chief anything. That's not how that works.
Well, it's because
Disingenuous.
they're
Hello, Go-Go.
well, they're the people who supervise other animation directors per episode. Like because there are multiple episode animation directors. There are a lot of fucking people on the staff to this, which this can be a really bad thing.
It
A really
seems
bad
like a
sign.
lot of money went into it, which makes sense because apparently the game's like pretty popular. But
Money went into
Pretty Derby.
Pretty Derby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I mean, yeah, like this is the first time the guy's like been like it's not the first time he's been a chief an overall supervising animation director, but this is one of the first times he's been brought on for character design rather than say mecha design. Which
Interesting.
The character designs are charming.
Yeah, the character designs are like probably the best thing about the show.
Do they move well?
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
Like
I
the
would
actual
be ever.
animation
Yeah.
is fine. Like it's not exceptional. Like I don't think anybody's going to be putting it up
Yeah.
on Sakugaburu or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Sakugaboru.
you know, it's
Oh,
it's good.
these. I'm a little curious about. Okay, there's an assistant director on. Maybe they have done something of interest. Let's
I
see.
like that we've now
Episode
spent like a
director.
good half hour of the show scouring the staff list for Pretty Derby.
I mean, why the fuck not?
I wanted to talk
He's been
about
an
Fooly
episode
Cooly
director.
3.
I mean, the assistant director has been an episode director on a ton of things, but never like a main sort of person. He does a lot of key animation. Uh, you know, like basically like a lot of kind of mid-tier people who've done sort of like workman-like stuff.
Yeah.
And then mixed with people who have some occasional prominence, but are like, there are some people who are just like straight up, like the second series composition guy is like a go between for Idolmaster. It's a very strange lineup. I don't know.
Word.
I have no idea what to expect.
Are you gonna watch it?
Uh. No.
So, to be clear, you just spent like a good 20 minutes scouring the staff list for a show
Maybe I'll watch
that
it just
you
out of weird curiosity.
that you
Yeah,
do not
sure.
plan on watching.
Well, because I'm curious about it because of the way you described it. Like,
it's
just makes me just.
it's bad, but now you have an obligation to watch it. So I'm very sorry to tell you that.
Oh.
Also, they released the first 2 episodes at the same time, which is really weird. I didn't
Did
watch
you watch
the second.
the second one?
No, we only watched the first one.
You should have watched the second one. You need to know what happened.
I didn't want to put anybody else through more Pretty Derby. Also, some
But-
people, I thought it was interestingly bad. Some people there were, actually, never wanted to see it again, which I don't really blame anybody for.
Oof.
But,
But yeah, like.
But, yeah. So, hey, Fooly Cooly 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully
It
3.
looks really good so far.
Huzzah!
The interesting thing...
Which in turn gives you hope for the second series
one,
as
too.
well.
Although, interestingly, the second and third series, I don't know if you can really call them sequel seasons because they don't directly continue the story from the first.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
But they're done by completely different people. Season 2, I think, is just
Yeah.
production IG by themselves. And then season 3 is production IG, but a different group of people from there. With assistance from Studio Nut, who have the best name of any studio ever.
Oh wait,
They
Studio
did,
Nut, I can't remember what they're called.
They did the Saga of Tanya the Evil, which is the worst show ever
yeah,
made.
I knew about
But,
that. Yeah, like,
Not for animation reasons, but I hate it.
the worst show. You said the worst show ever made.
Yeah. I mean, I was exaggerating, but I'm not a fan. Not because of, anything visual, though. It's just, kind of a dumb premise.
What else? Oh, they assisted on Archivolum.
I don't think
That's
I've heard
about
of
it.
that. And they're also getting assistance from a studio that was made specifically to help out on Fooly Cooly 3. That I forget the name of. It's
I mean, that makes sense.
It's
There
like
are often
Rootworks or something.
like that.
I forget. But the first episode seemed really cool. It does an interesting thing where the first part of the episode is very un-Fooly Cooly.
Uh-huh.
it is almost like a slice of life show, kind of. But
Well, then again, there are parts of the first episode of Fooly Cooly which are very slow
yeah,
and
but there's
slice of
no,
lifey, and even later it does that.
yeah, there's not like it's been a long time since I watched Fooly Cooly, and in fact, we're watching it on the server this Sunday. But from what I recall, the moment with the fucking uh, Vespa and Haruko
Uh-huh.
like knocks Naota over the head, that happens like pretty early into the first episode of Fooly Cooly, right? It's
I
like,
think that the whole earlobe scene comes before that.
does it? I
I'm
mean, still, I
pretty
think it's
sure.
like 10 minutes in at the most, though, right?
Might be, I can't remember. I know that there's like kind of a relatively slow build up
Yeah.
to it.
But anyway, my point being, there's not really a whacked over the head with a Vespa moment or with a guitar moment in anywhere in the first part of Fooly Cooly 3. It's like a lot of character building for the four main girls. Um, and it's kind of weird because it kind of throws you for a loop because you're like you get this sense
Mhm.
of like are they trying to like uh, play
Make
to a
something that
specific
feels completely different.
yeah, and then what happens is the main girl whose name I have now forgotten, but I'll commit it to memory at some point, I'm sure. She's in a curry shop, and she's talking to somebody, and just in the background, you see Haruko walk into the curry shop, and it's really good.
A
Oh,
And
fuck.
then, like, about 10 minutes after that, is where it starts getting,
Weird.
Fooly and
FLCL
also
like.
Cooly. Um,
Oh, I was gonna say, actually, it turns out that I'm reading a little bit more about Studio Nut because of somebody talking about Yojo Senki. And it turns out a lot of the staff there are people who are, like folks tied to Mappa and to a lesser extent Madhouse, but also some of whom migrated from Mappa but were originally, before they were at Mappa, were in Gynax.
that makes sense.
And there are also people who were involved with Production IG back in the 90s, like,
Yeah,
and this is all staff on, like, Yojo Senki, actually, like Tanya the Evil. Like, are a bunch of, like, there are all these people who have, like, ties to, like, old Production IG stuff and some later-ish Gynax stuff when they started going downhill but hadn't all the way hit bottom yet, who in turn have ties to, like, Mappa, um,
God,
and,
does
like, the
Gynax even
direction.
make anything anymore? I know, like, there's occasionally
What?
something that comes out with their name on it, but
Gynax?
yeah,
I think
Gynax.
Gynax are, like, half dead at this point.
yeah, it's like the name is still used, but it's not any of the same people that anybody cared about, and
and
now they
and
are like
also they mostly work on, like,
adaptions of stuff.
assisting. They also work on assisting other studios mainly
Mm.
at this point. Like, they've kind of been reduced to like a lower status than Doctor Movie, which is kind of bad. Like, Doctor Movie are the Korean finishing artists who do a ton of stuff,
Hmm.
but, like, Gynax are at this point about as low profile,
Well,
but
I
with
think
but
there's
with
only like 20 people left at Gynax. Like, it's smaller than Traeger
yeah,
now, I'm pretty sure.
it's
And
very
Traeger's
yeah,
not a huge studio.
it kind of is dead. Um, and then at this point, I'm like, with that in mind, geez, Science Saru, which is Yuasa's studio, is probably significantly bigger than it now. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, A1 is probably bigger than
Well,
Gynax now.
A1
And
doesn't
A1
have like
A1 doesn't
almost
have a ton
any
of dedicated
permanent
staff, but
staff.
it turns out it has like a shocking amount, like a surprising amount of their returning people are ex-Gynax, which is
Yeah,
part
I've
of the
heard that.
reason
That's
why
some of
they
the
want
people who were
Trigger.
working on Darlifra. Is like
Yeah, yeah,
the Gynax people that ended up going to A1.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Caw to you too, Win. But
yeah,
yeah, so
Caw.
Fooly Cooly 3 is looking really good. And Cooly.
I
I won't
am
spoil what happens in
excited.
the second half because it's actually like fucking sick.
Ah, damn.
You don't have to spoil it.
No,
I
I said I
will see
won't.
it
I
eventually.
said I won't.
No,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying you don't have to. I'll
yeah.
see it.
I
Anyway,
was more so mourning the loss of this good Marine.
I'm
Oh,
gonna like
okay.
quickly. I'm gonna like really quickly run, use the bathroom, and get more food.
I'm gonna also do that. So Trey,
Oh,
juggle.
okay.
Juggle.
Juggle.
By which we mean,
how does one juggle over Discord?
Carefully.
Trey, you know the answer is to sing Death Cab for Cutie songs. That's like always the solution.
Well, let's see.
And once you get to like the last chorus, Rickroll everyone.
Oh my god.
It's up to you. Though you'll be fine, whatever holds you back. I can't, I can't get it all. Tell me what, tell me what, tell me what you want. That is the original theme song to the 90s Berserk. I'm sorry. It's really strange because it has nothing to do with the show. Although the guitars on it. But anyway, yes, Death Cab for Cutie and then Rickroll everyone.
How I wish you could see the potential of you and me. It's like a book elegantly bound, but in language that you can't read. Yeah, gotta spend some time, love. You gotta spend some time with me. I know that you'll find love. I will possess your heart. There are days when outside your window I see my reflection as I slowly pass, and I long for the spirit perspective when we'll be lovers, lovers at last. You gotta spend some time, love. You gotta spend some time with me. I know that you'll find love. I will possess your heart. Insert Rick Astley here.
I return.
That's a Jane.
That's me.
How goes?
Pretty good. I tried these smoked cheddar cracker sandwiches, and they're surprisingly good.
Cool. I have been chilling out. You know, I switched over to my iPad partially because I wanted to see if I could charge my phone because it's at like 38 now that I've been streaming for a couple hours. But you know,
Go, these emoji combinations are extremely good, and I want you to know that I appreciate them.
Unlimited power.
But yeah, those crackers, they were pretty good.
Cool.
Sredni back yet?
Not to my knowledge.
He's hiding.
The ferret is incognito.
Yeah. We'll do like one, maybe two more runs of this if I die super early, and then we will pop over to GeoGuessr.
Guess the Geos.
I might actually like keep streaming after the show is over tonight. I don't know. I kind of want to try streaming Path of Exile at some point, but I don't know how viable that is. That's so? I can't even tell which one of you that is.
Hey, Frankenstein.
Sredni.
It's me doing adjusting myself noises. Okay, I'm adjusted.
Yeah.
Adjusted.
So hey, you know what else is really great about anime?
Not well adjusted, for the record.
Adjusted.
Okay, you know what's great about what?
Anime? I was just gonna ramble about Fooly Cooly 3 more, but we can move on to something else if y'all are bored of the subject.
So the 1990s version of Berserk.
It's bad.
What is
It's
that
good.
noise?
It's something.
It's really good.
Good to know.
Cool.
What is that weird noise?
Yeah,
on the
what
line?
is that noise?
Trey?
Maybe
Yeah.
it's like
That might have been me moving my wire a little bit. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Maybe. Hey, I got the Mega Buster. Now I hear somebody eating.
Mega Man.
I'm eating.
Mega Man.
To be fair.
Lemon.
What on earth is that noise? That's...
Oh, I think it was Trey moving his wire, but I don't hear it anymore.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's alright. That's fine.
Alright. Yeah.
It's all good.
It's fine.
But
like, yeah, like, it is legitimately... The funny thing about it is, like, people talk about how stiff the animation is and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, actually, like, the direction overall, and, like, how it incorporates, like, sometimes it uses stills in an incredibly effective way, which is apparently a thing borrowed from, I think it's, like, might be Osamu Dezaki used to do that sort of thing, where it'll be, like, a really detailed still, and it'll use that as kind of like a, you know, sort of like to punctuate a really powerful scene when you don't really have the time to, like, fully animate that, and it works better that way, you know what I mean?
Right.
So you just, like, have this gorgeously painted still that they zoom in on, that sort of thing.
Huh. Interesting.
Which actually... I actually like that, like, when it's used well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ferret eats cookie directly in your ear, ASMR.
It's actually, that was a pepper.
A pepper?
A slice of pepper because I'm eating Chinese food.
Okay, when you said a pepper, I thought you just meant one, like, by itself. Like, you just had a pepper
Bear
and you were,
eats
like...
entire pepper.
You were just, like, eating it like an apple.
Oh no, I do that. Not very often anymore, because we don't do enough
But...
grocery shopping of that
I
sort.
believe it, my man.
But why?
Because bell peppers are really tasty and they're crunchy and good.
You're crunchy.
I think that
heck?
word does not mean what you think it means.
I had a friend who used to do that with balls of mozzarella cheese. Like, he would just buy one from the grocery store in town and would just eat it like an apple.
That's pretty hardcore.
Is it? Is it hardcore?
I think it is. Or maybe cowpunk, more like.
Cowpunk.
Because dairy. And also
Gotcha.
middle nowhere.
Well, you know, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name.
Oh no. That song. Wow.
Sredni, not a fan of the band America.
I mean, it's not that bad of a song or anything, it's just that it's just... The heat was hot.
There were rocks and things.
I do actually really like how dumb some of the lines are. Like, and I think they're kind of intentionally that way, like they're supposed to be. But at the same time, I think that they think that it's slightly more profound than it is.
There were rocks and things. The t-shirt cannon. I don't really want that.
Are you still adjusting your wire tray?
No, it might just be the position I'm in. Hang on, we'll try sitting a bit differently.
Do not adjust your set.
That aligns things.
You have to align.
Changing the position to align things better. Just like my first time.
America.
Oh
no. It's a better version of That's What She Said.
Jeez.
America did the soundtrack for the Last Unicorn movie.
Oh!
Those are words that mean nothing to me, but I appreciate
The Last Unicorn was technically Rankin Bass, but it was essentially it was an adaptation of a famous children's book, and essentially it had all the staff that would later become Studio Ghibli.
Huh. I did not know that. Wait, is it Rankin Bass and not Rankin Bass?
Yeah, Rankin Bass.
That's dumb. It should be Rankin Bass.
But if you were Rankin Bass, you'd be like, okay, this Rickenbacker is a strong 7.
I was gonna say that
a 1967 Mustang.
It shouldn't be like a. It shouldn't be Rankin Bass. It should be Skankin Bass to go with our ska theme.
Everybody ska!
Has that been the theme of the show? I feel like the theme of the show has been pretty derby, much to my chagrin.
Oh dear.
It can be ska if we wanted to be ska. I fucking love the Mighty Mighty Bostons.
That's the impression that I
get.
Everybody gets a free pork pie hat.
I am the Grubermeister.
Goo 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 goo.
Good old Mission Hill. Fucking obscure ass WB turned Adult Swim show that featured a protagonist who really liked ska and his nerdy as hell younger brother, who I am the nerdy as hell younger brother.
And wasn't that one of the first animated series with openly gay characters in it?
Yes. the main character's neighbors, they were a nerdy fellow and his very masculine boyfriend, and actually they might have been married. I'm not sure. They bickered like an old married couple, and they were good. They were good. It was a good show. Ended before its time.
Yeah, I've heard it was good.
Yeah.
The theme of the show is gay. Well, that's more the theme of me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, fair.
I mean, I did,
bring
rank
up the
character
boy
on my
scale, yeah. Oh, God.
Something romantic orientations, etc.
Yeah.
Etc.
The pedantic romantic orientation.
Pedantic romantic. SC. Secretly Canadian.
Oh, that was the label that Windsor for the Derby were on at one.
Windsor for the Derby?
Uh-huh.
I don't understand band names.
Bands are good.
Which is why anytime I hear any vaguely interesting series of words, I say, that sounds like a band name. And people usually agree with me, so I'm clearly doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a pretty good track record with that sort of thing.
Windsor for the Derby, for the record, kind of a post-rock group, kind of a post-punk group.
Their genre is post.
It was very post. They also kind of made, they would sort of alternate between kind of, vaguely poppy but minimalistic sort of post-punkish stuff and, math rocky post-rock stuff.
Hey,
if we're talking post, I think I prefer some of the tracks on Vespertine, but fair enough.
I have a question.
I actually haven't listened to Vespertine.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If
you should listen to Vespertine, by the way.
Given that Post Malone's new single flopped, are we now living in a Post Malone era?
You mean a post Malone
era? But then his comeback is going to happen eventually. So we're in a pre-Post Malone era.
Perhaps.
God. Whatevr son.
ASAP Rocky released. ASAP
also,
Rocky
Psycho
think about me when I'm gone.
Psycho, that song he had with I can't remember.
That was the single that flopped.
It didn't flop. It's in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, but it dropped off, didn't it? Like, it was in the top 10 for a while, and then it fell off, like, a week
It might have...
ago.
I can't remember.
Which, for somebody who had a number one for, like, a couple straight weeks, is a drop-off. Because labels, they want you to have 20 number one singles that all stay in the top 10 for 20 weeks straight.
Which is pretty bullshit.
Yeah. But like I was saying, ASAP Rocky released a new single, and it is pretty good. It samples Porcelain by Moby.
I actually found myself really digging that Tyler, the Creator track that dropped recently.
Oh, Okra.
Yeah.
That song is also really good, although the video gives me a headache.
Which, is surprising to me, considering that I've never, really been a traditionally a Tyler fan, but, I fucks with the new shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's kind of
have
taken
you listened to Flower Boy yet? I've still been meaning to get to it.
But yeah, it seems like he's grown up a bit, done a bit of thinking about the kind of artist he wants to be, and kind of figured out that maybe the
Yeah.
wasn't quite quite as novel as it once was. So
I think I cut out for a bit, but I asked, have you listened to Scumfuck Flower Boy yet?
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten the chance to listen to it, but
neither have I, actually, unfortunately.
I own it on tape, and it's good.
I've heard it's really good.
And
at one point, you were saying, Jane, you were saying, it was Album of the Year at one point.
I mean, honestly, it probably still is as far as last year goes. Nothing else really came out last year that grabbed me. Although the
Oviri came out last year.
The fucking cassette copy I have though got damaged in the mail, and you play it and it sounds like there's a jet engine playing next to your cassette player.
Oh yikes!
So that kind of sucks, especially since somebody got that for me.
You can probably contact the distributor about it.
I could, but it came with a digital download, so I'm like,
Yeah, but still, having a real usable physical copy is.
Also, I didn't buy it; it was bought for me, so I don't even know if I can do anything about it, or if they would have to, the other guy would have to do something. I don't know.
I mean, you could talk to him. I don't know.
I could, but it wasn't anybody I know. It was actually kind of a funny story. It was just some dude on Reddit was like,
"Huh,
I saw you made a comment about wanting this album and not being able to afford it. Do you want me to just buy it for you?" And I thought he was fucking around, but I told him my shipping address, and he bought it.
That's actually really nice.
It was.
Cool.
The guy's name was Jeff Lopez, I think.
So, people is sometimes kind. That's the most poignant dinosaur.
People sometimes is kind.
It's from when they brought in dinosaur comics for kids who were learning English in Korea to write
I've seen
comics. It's really cute and sweet.
No, don't crush the house. Why? People sometimes are good. Actually, it's another comic that got done with, and we're going super obscure now. Does anybody remember listening to 11975 megahertz?
Yes, yeah. Because
well, yeah, Ethan
fucking
used to use
foresight
forums actually. That guy's kind of a dick, but I liked his comics.
Yeah, I mean he's a good comicer, and he's he's not Satan. He's just not. He's not someone who vibed with the group we were in.
Definitely not.
And kind of arrogant.
But again, he makes good comics. He actually rebooted that recently. He shut down the old site, and now you can buy the new one, which has an actual story.
On I remember
Comic Vine, I think, or whatever that site's called, where you can buy digital comics.
Yeah,
it's $2 per issue or something. One of these days, I'll buy the whole thing.
Yeah, seems reasonable. I'm still a friend of mine bought some of my music as a way to get me to purchase some of the seasons of Kate Wirtz's Crow Killers, and I feel bad that I never got around to actually doing that.
Well,
because of the fact that I realized that I couldn't get all 4 of these sort of volumes.
I guess that's reasonable, but also it is your money.
Yeah,
if they bought something,
but I still feel bad, because shout out to Avram for being a nice person. He's good. But also, I'm really sorry. I was able to obtain a surprising number of albums for that, but what I really want to do is when I actually have an income to actually subscribe to Kate Wirtz's Patreon. Because then I can just get her comics directly and at a reduced rate, actually.
More
Yeah.
like Kate Hertz. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
if
know
you've
who
ever,
Kate Wertz is.
I mean, if you've ever read Smoke, the end of that comic does hurt.
I do not think I am familiar with it.
What is that noise, Trey?
Oh, I'm looking at the games that the Xbox spring sale has.
Oh, then is it on James?
I hear it too, so I'm pretty sure it's Trey's wire again.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Jesus, what is wrong with that?
It's just making like an interference noise, I think. Just like from being kind of touched. Balance seems a bit low. In what sense, Sturluson?
But anyway, what I was saying was the comic Smokes is probably one of the best ways to get into her. It's on her website, and which is lamezone.net, and it's like it is a hello?
What?
Oh, people, I was just making sure you could hear me and things and
Yep.
stuff. But it's like about these kids who are like right out of high school, two of whom were formerly in a relationship, which wasn't much of a relationship to begin with. One of whom is a foreign exchange student who's now living in the U.S. and is just very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, the guy who was formerly in the relationship is kind of an asshole, and the girl is dealing with stuff. And
hey, Ken, you keep talking. I need to adjust your volume.
Yeah, so it's like about the guy kind of getting like this sort of lame job at a Hobby Lobby-ish kind of place, working in their back, sort of whatever, like
yeah,
kind of like sorting through stock for them. And the girl kind of gets involved in, I think she's at school, and she, winds up in, like getting an apartment with some weird artsy people.
as one does.
And seems to gradually realizes she's bisexual, but has an unrequited thing for one of her friends that does not work out well. And it's really funny, a lot of it, but it's also really sad. And it kind of, like, if you've seen any of Kate Wertz's stuff, like my icon on Discord, it's very kind of sketchy, zine-style illustration, but like the character designs are really strong, and it has a really interesting sense of color.
My icon, where is my icon from? I'm still using the girl from Fooly Cooly 3.
Neat.
It's, they're like all kind of delinquents, sort of, and her thing is she's like a chain smoker, although she doesn't have a cigarette in that picture.
It's funny because like the icon that I have, one of Kate Wertz's downloadable comics, which is Microwave Planet, which is in the same universe as what is it called? As her recent one, Crow Killers, which is spelled with 2 C's, by the way, because it's literally a group of kids who think they are going to pull this whole Scooby-Doo mystery hunting thing against an actual cult. It works out badly.
And then how do you say it? Is it
yeah, it's like Inse Iche or something. The thing
something to that effect.
Yeah, that thing first shows up in Microwave, and it's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
But Microwave Planet, that character is Moya, who their dad wanted to name him Charles, but his mom had other ideas. And and he's like, he's just like a gay stoner fucker.
Hey, can we have a second of silence for the fact that for once I clicked on world in GeoGuessr and we didn't get just a fucking field in the middle of nowhere?
Yes, amen. I think we're France or because those
Blessed.
look like grapevines.
Uh,
Let me look.
do Roy? Yeah, maybe.
I heard it through the grapevine. I'm
Could you go back to?
Would you be mine, baby?
Could you go back to zooming on those signs?
Oh, I heard it.
Clotilde.
Don't you know that I heard it through the grapevine?
Could you just quit moving it around? Just let it sit. Please stop. Please stop being cruel. Why do you make me suffer?
I'm sorry.
I think we're in southern France.
Yeah, somewhere in France, or somewhere where they speak French at the very least. Probably not Canada. Gonna go ahead and say that now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Canada.
Hey, parlez-vous français?
Parlez-vous français, fuckboy?
Je parle un peu de français. Un petit peu de français.
Yeah. What?
What?
What does that mean?
I speak a little French. A very little French.
I am going to go this way.
Hello?
What?
Hello.
I was just making sure because I moved the jack and it made a brrr noise.
Yeah, it's like really weird. Both of you, actually, the audio quality has been like getting slightly worse incrementally over the course of the stream, and I don't know why.
Well, I switched hard, so might have been that Mike admitted that, and it's like,
Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
that's fair. I'm still it's out. I'll look at my the op.
Yeah, it can be optimized so that it'll cut out at a certain volume level. So maybe it's doing that too.
Yeah, I think it's like...
Excuse me.
The heck was that? You like whinnied like a horse.
Nice.
I belched.
That's not
That
what...
was a good one. It was the fucking good one.
Why must I suffer?
Alright, so there are what appear to be grapevines. This I am guessing, yeah, like we're in wine country.
Alimentation General. Ribbit. Caro.
What's that sign up there say? Oh, it's a church, but there's a little sign right there. Plus something.
Oh, you did mean this one.
Oh, there's
place,
there's a
place. Something.
Yeah, it says plus.
Oh, Bordeaux, that way. Bordeaux is the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bordeaux.
We're like right somewhere around here. Yeah, look at that.
Radical.
We were a little bit down the
Good.
river
We were down the river.
But, you know.
Kinsac. Yeah, or
over a river and for what?
To grandmother's house we go.
Now, Sredni, don't be ridiculous.
Way to carry the sleigh.
It's clearly pronounced Quine Sack.
Chagala.
Oh shit, we're in Indonesia.
Polio?
Polio. Maybe it's like a vaccine place?
Like, wait, look at that car.
This
the
one?
ambulance. The ambulance is right there. Because I need to, get, Okay, so scroll down a little.
Scroll. You mean like down here?
Yeah, like down there. Okay.
Let me try
We're
to
in Indonesia.
readjust
We are
myself.
in
Oh,
Indonesia.
okay.
I know this. Because it says Jaya.
Oh, thank you for the subscription, Trey.
4 months running.
4 months in a row. That is a third of a year.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yes, it is 4/9 of a sub, Baba.
What'd you call me?
Never mind. Win, understand.
Oh, now you sound better, Trey.
But, hey, so... Yeah, so, this is definitely Indonesia.
Kementerian Agama Madrasah Ibtidaya MI.
It's a school.
One man.
That's what madrasa means. It's just school.
Why do you know the Indian word for school?
Not Indian, Indonesian or Bahasa.
Sorry.
Yeah. Because people often, like, say, like, Obama, he went to a madrasa, which is a term, which can be used to refer to a Muslim school in a general sense, but it comes from the Arabic school, and it's used generically in Indonesia, which was where he lived, to mean school.
I'm tired.
So, racist origins were what ultimately genuine.
Oh, now you're cutting out again.
Oh,
This is highly problematic.
Yeah.
Trey.
It's a conundrum.
Well, now
Trey is highly problematic.
You said it's a conundrum.
Your favorite's problematic, Trey. Let's go through the list of ways that Trey is problematic.
What happened?
Entirely too green.
What ended up actually coming out of that? Because I said racist origins for what ended up being genuinely interesting knowledge.
I was saying that your mic cutting out constantly is highly problematic for people.
Yeah, I didn't even get like half of what you said about the word. Although
so
now
basically,
you seem fine.
Racist helped educate me on the fact. Well, I kind of already knew this, was that, like, the term madrasa is used in a lot of Muslim countries as a generic word for school.
For school. And the Spanish word for school is el school.
But okay, we're definitely in Indonesia, like...
You can buy things there.
Like, I would have said Malaysia, but the thing is that Bahasa Malaysia, or Malay, is, like, it's spelled slightly differently from Indonesian.
Obama went to school, good to know. There's just like a person here.
Yeah, Obama was, his stepfather is Indonesian. A lot of his half-siblings are Indonesian in descent.
Huh. Neat.
Yeah, he grew up for a decent amount of his life. It could be Malaysia, but it seems a lot more likely to me that it's... Because it said Jaya, and Irian Jaya. Let's try Irian Jaya. That's the east half of the west half rather of Papua New Guinea, further over.
It's like over here, yeah.
Or not Papua. Wait a second. Irian Jaya is more.
More what? Sredni?
Yes.
More what?
The part that's connected to Borneo, that thing, I think, is Irian Jaya. I get this screwed up.
This area.
Kalimantan. Yeah, wait, it said Kalimantan, so maybe somewhere in here.
You were in your Sintang. No.
Oh, shit, it was... Oh, yeah.
Why did we get so few points? I mean, that's still, like, pretty close.
Well, I mean, a lot of people live in Indonesia.
I guess, but I always thought it was by geographical distance. Now this is more what I expect from GeoGuessr. Just
Field.
nothing.
I was so refreshed
Wide
though, that we
open
were thrown in fucking,
spaces.
Indonesia. That was actually way more refreshing. You know?
Yeah, now we're in fucking like I don't know, Alberta or some shit.
Boringville. Home of the Boringtons.
I live near a place that looks exactly like this. Like,
Damn.
put more
Maybe it's
mountains.
in Pennsylvania then.
Put more mountains off in the distance, and you could tell me that this is up near Bowmanstown, and I'd believe you. The thing, though, is that, like, most of the United States looks like this. Like, a good amount of it,
A lot
and
of
then
the US does, yeah.
also a decent part of Europe, and then also Canada, so, you know.
Generic land. Home of the generic
Generic. 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 Generic.
Let's just keep going along here until we reach the steak and egger.
The steak and egger?
The steak and eggery, because let's all go to the steak and eggery.
I mean, I was gonna
You can
guess
have
that there
toast.
was a Western
You can have
sizzling
toast.
vibe,
You can
but
have
like,
toast. You can have 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 toast. Let's all go to the steak and eggery.
Do you see this? This is
The
me
sky?
looking into the sky and wondering why.
Just look up steak and eggery on YouTube
Not
and
gonna
be
look up
subjected.
steak and eggery on YouTube. You should watch You Suck at Cooking. That's a good show.
But yeah, well, it's a CGI animated video slash
Hey.
folk song. Better game.
Better
and a
games
Macca's.
and a McDonald's.
Macca's.
Only 13 miles.
Only 13 miles to
Well, you
McDonald's.
know, let's see. How much?
Trey.
Yeah.
Sturluson wants you to know that Jericho did some more stuff with Dead Mouse tonight, possibly.
Cool.
I don't know who Jericho is, but I'm gonna assume he's
That's
another
another
musician.
Twitch streamer.
Ah, okay.
He plays stuff with like Joel sometimes.
I understand.
Yeah.
I am wise and I know things about things. Does that say Crack Factory?
Let's say it could be a crack.
That's so trendy.
It says crack. Well, go back, please, for a second.
You want me to
because
go
I
back
missed
to
it.
the crack?
Go back to the crack. That says
Saint
something
something.
Falls.
I really thought that said Crack
Crack
Factory for a
Falls.
minute.
It could be Crack Falls. or
Saint Crack
Creek Falls.
Falls, I guess.
Wait, no, it might be St. Croix Falls.
Oh, that could be Saint Professor Croix Falls.
Okay, I'm trying to confirm. Oh, it turns out that Cecil Taylor did die yesterday.
Who's Cecil
That
Taylor?
fucking sucks. Same day as Isao Takahata.
Who is
fucking
Cecil
hell.
Taylor? I knew that.
Cecil Taylor is an avant-garde jazz pianist who is like one of the most important people in that field. He was one of the pioneers of
an important jazz figure.
Yeah, he was important to the foundations of what became free jazz. He really liked to incorporate atonal stuff into his music.
Hey, you guys want to go to Flying Pines Kart Raceway?
Sounds like a hell of a time, my dude. Let's do it.
Somebody call the number on there and tell me who picks up.
I love those pine tree paintings on it too.
They're like
let's look at that again.
flying pines, and it's like
They're
bending.
They're like there's wind going through them really fast, like they're moving really quickly. Oh my god! If we get to pilot moving, vibrating trees, then I will totally go there.
There's a game idea for you.
Trees that go vroom.
I'm
Vibrating
in me mum's
trees?
tree. Vroom vroom.
I'm in me mum's tree. Vroom vroom. Get out of me tree!
Aw.
Let's look at that house over there. That is a very average house of that type.
It is.
With a porch.
Oh, la di fucking da. They've got a porch. Look at me, I can stand outside, provided it's not raining. Oh. Sip lemonade.
Or, like a snowstorm. Or hail.
Sip lemonade. Oh, it is St. Croix Falls. Look at that.
Yeah,
And
see,
New
I told
Richmond. I guess the old
New
one wasn't
Richmond
doing
to what?
Wait a fucking minute. Are we in, oh god, West Virginia or some shit?
Who knows? We could be anywhere. We could be
Go
anywhere.
in that direction which has the signs so that we can look at the signs.
We could be anywhere. Just a stop sign and west and east sides.
And, well, there's on the other side of the road, there's more signs. No, there isn't.
There's
Well,
one
fuck
way
me,
over
then.
there. Let me look at that.
Well, fuck me with a tire iron.
It
Please
did
don't.
have a monster truck. Oh, that's true. That house did have a monster truck. We might
That would be uncomfortable, yes, thinking about it now. Turtle Lake. There is that guy in, Gozu with the ladles.
Am I going the wrong way? Am I going back the way we came? I totally am.
I mean, if you're moving away from discussion of ladle sex, then yes, you're
Wait,
going the
what?
right
Where did that
way.
come from?
Don't ask!
I'm banning everybody. Forever.
I'm banned from Twitch now.
Banned from the internet.
Banned from the internet. How risque can a game get before you can't play it on Twitch?
No nudity. Or wait, no, that's actually not true. I don't know. I think
I
if
guess
you
that
have...
no explicit sex would probably
I
be
think if you
an
have
important thing.
your stream tagged as being like having mature content or whatever, I think you can basically play anything as long as it's like actually a game and not just like a porn visual novel or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I'm not actually sure. You'd have to email Twitch and ask. And then when they ask you why you're asking, dodge the question. There is a list of games that you're not allowed to play. Well, now I need to see this.
I mean,
Hold on.
I know that.
List
I
of
knew about
games
that because there's this
blacklisted
one guy
by Twitch.
who most of his work is banned from Twitch because of its sexually
List
explicit
of prohibited games.
Honey,
3DX Chat, Artificial Girl 1, 2, and 3, Artificial Academy 1 and 2.
I'd imagine it's probably not okay if it's rated AO, but I mean, I guess that's just a given.
There's a game in here called Battle Rape. I don't even like reading that. BMX
Called
XXX, Cobra Club, Criminal Girls.
What's it called? There's a game called what?
How about I just link you the list and you can peruse it at your own?
Okay,
At
I
your
will
own.
look.
Some of these I don't really want to read. Honey Pop actually you're not allowed to play, which I didn't know that actually had anything explicit in it.
I'm not surprised. List of prohibited games.
There's actually not that many. There's only like 20. And most of them I kind of get where they're coming from. Also, somebody's phone just rang.
Yeah, that was mine. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, you should pick that up. Might be important. Or maybe it's just a
Probably
telemarketer.
isn't. So I've been playing Skate 3, and there are billboards that say Dr. Pepper on them, and now I really fucking want Dr. Pepper. I kind of did anyway, but now I especially do.
Dr. Pepper and his wife, Mrs. Pepper.
Dr. Perky.
4 miles
Mr.
ahead.
Mr.
Dramatical
Spice.
murder is prevented. Oh.
I wonder
Well,
why.
You
'Cause that's,
you don't want anybody fucking their dog on Twitch.
You fuck the robot dog. Except
Oh
he's
wait,
a
is
god when
that game? I thought that was like.
No. The robot dog becomes a hot guy and then you fuck.
Yeah, but is that dramatical murder?
Is it any better?
Yeah. Dramatical murder does indeed happen.
Oh, why did I think
Most
that was
of the
related
list
to
is
Gungeon
actual
Rampa?
hentai.
Yeah.
One would figure. One would figure.
It does have the sex in it. if
I
I'm not
assume it's
mistaken.
like everything on the banned list, and then also like things similar to stuff on the
like
banned
stuff
list.
that. Well, this is all stuff that's prohibited games without an adults-only rating.
Oh, okay. So I guess nothing
Because,
AO is prohibited.
like, if it's AO, then it's restricted unless it,
I crossed like a
has a
time
mature
vortex just now.
just an M version.
Did you see that? We go back here. It's bright. It's sunny. The camera quality is decent. We cross this line in the road, and we're in fucking hell.
Seth, hit me
Yeah,
up on
that is
Discord.
fucking
I got
awesome.
you.
And now it's back to normal again. And now it's not.
And-
Now it's
Well,
back.
I mean, it's actually, like,
it's not.
there's some really nice clouds in all of these shots.
There are. Also, Trey Sturluson wants to know how you feel about a food run.
Yeah.
After the
That
show.
was why I chimed in randomly. Yes, I am down for a food run.
Can I have some?
So there is a game that you can't play on Twitch that's just called House
House?
House.
House.
What's in the
Party.
fucking box? House.
Oh. You cut out for a second, too.
Oh.
What's in the fucking box? House.
So we just
Yeah,
heard
it's-
you say house, and the idea of it being just called
House
house
Party.
is really funny.
As in, there is a party at a house.
Let's
There's
have
a
a
party
house
At a
party.
house. It is kinky as fuck.
Noah
Yeah,
and
I'm
Sherwood's
suspecting that it's it is a party where people do the things that are the do.
Why is my show like this?
You invited me.
I know, and that's the part that hurts the most.
And I'm mostly the source of it, although occasionally Wynn and Hines do provide color commentary.
Yeah. Hey, you guys want to go to thrift store?
You know, for taste.
Wait a second, I have to see thrift store. Show me thrift. Show me where thrift.
Thrift store.
Thrift store. Or it might be the thrift store.
I don't know.
Still,
And it's
that's
right next to a nail time. That's how you know it's
Walk
quality.
into the club like, what up? I got a big cock.
That's
Shut it down.
That is definitely a way to walk into the club with confidence. It's like, what up? I got a big cock.
That's the opening line to Thrift Shop by
I
Macklemore.
know. I know where it's from, Jane. I'm not that culturally deprived.
They fuck Sredni.
They fuck.
Who fuck?
I don't know. The people in House Party, I guess.
The mans and women's and possibly other folks.
No
Yeah,
more rust
Maybe a robot
stains.
dog. Maybe
And the robot dog. Yeah.
Zip Lines Adventure Park. Let's
You
go
know,
thrifting.
everybody loves Alba and how he is fucking sexy after he turns into a person, a man's. God.
yeah, what is it? Millie, a long time back, tried doing sort of a text let's play of dramatic
DMMG.
I
immersion, and then
remember
gave
that.
up. And then just kind of gave up after a while. Also because, like,
I wonder
one of
why.
the plot, one of the plot lines got kind of rapey.
Yeah.
So it was like, nah.
That's not shocking. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean it's a fucking yaoi game. Of course, there's gonna be some sketchy shit.
You guys want to go to Menards? I don't know what it is, but it's like the only sign of
Menards.
civilization.
Wait a second. That's like, I know about Menards because
it's like
it's
in
in Minnesota.
right?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, I guess that might be where we are.
Or Wisconsin.
You know what? I'm just gonna take the
St.
shot.
Croix
Like,
Falls sounds like somewhere in Minnesota.
I'm just gonna take the shot because, like, I don't know where else we could be.
Not to be confused with Mervin's, which is a different thing.
Yeah, we were.
We were in Wisconsin.
We were like just over the border, but still. Did you
So
enjoy
we got
this
an
location?
No.
Fuck off! I did not enjoy that location. And now we got another one that's just trees.
Although,
well, it's woods.
At the very least, we did get a nice little geographical marker in the form of Menards.
Yeah, but still, I hate. We also had to go like 10, 15 real-time minutes to get to it.
Fair. Reasonable.
Let's go into the woods and live with the bears, where you can kill someone and nobody cares.
Yeah?
That's a song by Silkworm, who are an excellent post-hardcore band that broke up in like
A
the
Frame
late 90s,
Drive.
early 2000s.
A frame
A-frame.
drive.
A-frame.
A-frame.
It's a frame. It's the frame.
I can't remember what an
T-O-P.
A-frame is.
I have to go to the bathroom real quick, so I'll be like right back. You guys can look at
Who
this
framed
scenic,
Roger Rabbit?
the scenic mountain in the meantime.
This looks like the Appalachians.
Hard mode is try to figure out where this is based solely on this picture.
Oh, jeez.
Yo, Sredni. Who framed Roger Rabbit?
Wasn't it like that judge who's played by Christopher Lloyd, who's like a total dick?
Yeah, that was him.
I have thoughts about things that are thought-worthy.
Do it. Speak.
So, like, after the stream is over, I'm planning to listen to the 2 Double Vulgar albums by Thibault Sandra, also known as Tim Lewis, who was a long-time one of the primary members that weren't John or Slazy in Coil. And he also was the touring keyboardist for Wire recently, and was a major member of Spiritualized, and a sideman for Julian Cope, formerly of the Teardrop Explodes. Although he and Julian Cope had a really nasty out after, I think Double Vulgar, or maybe Double Vulgar 2 was released. And it's really unfortunate. Julian Cope is not the most stable of people. He does a lot of bridge burning. But yeah, they were friends for a long time and did a lot of music together.
Right.
But yeah, like he did music that in his, like, he's a classically trained pianist whose mother was an opera singer. Who was really interested in modern music, but also in synthesizers, and he bought his first synthesizer when he was a teenager, and collected vintage synths.
Yeah.
And when he worked in Coil, he was like the technical, like he knew all the technical music theory knowledge and stuff.
Yeah.
And he would like, take their ideas and run with them in like, more classical ways. Whereas he said he really appreciated how Slazy, Peter Christopherson, could like use Ableton and other programs like that on like this micro level and like coax out little tiny sounds out of samples and stuff that were really amazing. and that he honestly respected that a ton because he had like no music theory knowledge, but was an intensely musical person, and so was John Balance.
Yeah.
And he said also about John Balance is like, he wasn't in the studio as much, but like people act like he didn't do anything, but he actually was really essential to the formula. When he would show up, he like totally changed the dynamic of it, and he also had a really intense musical ear. But like, yeah, Thibault Stanford's solo stuff is like. Oh, hi, Jane.
What?
Oh, I was just talking about how after this is over, I'm going to listen to the albums Double Vulgar and Double Vulgar 2 by Thibault Sandra, who was the one of the main people in Coil and also played with Wire and was a major member of Spiritualized.
Yeah?
A really amazing keyboardist and vocalist and things. And he, basically, Double Vulgar was his response to the sort of, and he also, his mother is an opera singer, and she shows up on some of his work before her death, and was really well respected in that way. But anyway, he was responding to like this sort of new prudishness and scary authoritarianism at the time of the Bush administration in America and of Tony Blair's New Labor. And so Double Vulgar is like basically him venting like every sort of idea for like every like massively depraved sort of thing that he could put into a song, and just like writing these totally insane, bizarre, like half classical, half electronic, but also rock epics about things like, the last song, His Royal Highness Prince of Wales breaches reality.
Can I make a request?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If the songs are about incredibly depraved things, please don't describe them in detail.
Okay.
I don't want to get banned.
I won't. It's really gorgeous music, though, is the thing, also.
Didn't one of the guys from... Oh, no, I'm thinking of Throbbing Gristle. Never mind.
Well, I mean, Throbbing Gristle and Coil are connected, so shoot.
I was going to say, didn't one of the guys from Throbbing Gristle release an album recently? And they did, and in fact, I think I have it downloaded. What's the guy's name now? I don't remember. Let me just look at my folder real quick, because I know I have it. Chris Carter. That's it.
Yeah, Chris Carter is in Throbbing Gristle, wasn't in Coil, is the other electronics guy.
Yeah.
Like, the electronics guy who... Coil, who was also in Throbbing Gristle, was Peter Sleazy Christopherson.
Yeah, he released an album of little electronic stuff recently, and I was intrigued by Pitchfork's description, so I downloaded it, and maybe I'll like it.
Yeah, I think you'll like Chris Carter's stuff. He was a proud ABBA fan.
After this, I might just, I don't know. I was going to say I might keep streaming, but I don't know what I could stream from here. And I think you guys both said you had plans, so never mind, I guess.
I mean, it's not like a super serious plan. It's just me sitting dark for 2.5 hours listening to weird music.
I don't know, Sredni. That sounds like a pretty serious plan.
Seth was literally just asking if I wanted to get food.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, crap. I think I need to, buzz the area around my right ear because the hair is a little too in that area. To, get it to be consistent and not bug me.
Yeah.
This was a terrible idea. Same time. What's done is done.
It's too late now. It's too
Too late,
late to
baby.
apologize.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
We
like,
went for different ones.
Too late.
that one is at least less excruciating than Gonna Give All My Secrets Away, which I heard in a supermarket. Oh god, that is a bad song.
I actually think that Ryan Tedder is a talented songwriter. It's just that like some of his stuff that he has put out with his band is like really great, and some of it is really not.
It's yeah.
Like
It's Too Late to Apologize is fine, but like, oh my god, I'll give all my secrets away. Like, it's not the chorus that's horrible; it's everything else about the song that is just appalling.
also he isn't particularly great live, but I mean, nobody's quite as good as they are on the
Oh my god, it was in Central Pennsylvania, motherfuckers.
Damn.
What the fuck? We were in we were in the middle of the state.
You got fucking ruined.
We were near Cinema
I told you it looked like the Appalachians.
I hate that one. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I guess what I can do is I can just like cut this here, and then I kind of want to try streaming either Path of Exile or Crusader Kings. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So,
well,
I know Trey's going to get food.
Okay.
If anybody wants to... What's up?
Yeah, I'll probably just go do my thing.
Okay.
Like, sit in the dark, alone. Like I always am. In my heart.
You okay?
Oh.
Just checking.
I mean, I did shave my head.
I'm not gonna stream Final Fantasy 15. I don't even own Final Fantasy 15.
Fantasy.
Fantasy would be the pronunciation.
Basilique du Saint Sepulchre Rotunda du 12. I think we're in France again.
Yeah, that's Saint Sepulchre's Basilica.
Yeah. Well, Sepulchre is
I know, but the term
thing.
The wording Saint Sepulchre.
St. Peter's Cathedral, built of granite, ever fearful of the answer.
What is that?
St. Peter's Cathedral by Death Cab.
Oh.
That's actually from Codes and Keys, which is an album that I don't like a lot, but it had a couple of songs that were pretty good.
I need to brush up because
when I am definitely not going to stream Dwarf Fortress.
That one came out around when Ben was married to Zoe Deschanel, actually. So it's a bit more less Death Cabby because he isn't going through as much emotional duress.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then Kintsugi happened, and he was sad again. And
I've heard some of Kintsugi, like Black.
I like that album a lot.
Isn't that the name of the song, Black Sun?
Yeah.
That is a really powerful song.
Yeah, that one is wild. Well, not really, actually. It's more dark and moody. Let's see. But the one that I like from that one is Good Help Is So Hard to Find. Which I guess is to be expected, considering that it's a very, like, dancey, upbeat sort of thing that happens to be about, let's see. I think that one is the one where he's like, only a fool gives it away, or some shit, like, in the chorus. Like, it's Ben being moody, as usual. And we love it, because that's why Death
That's
Cab
a good
exists.
shit.
Yeah. So that Ben can be moody and make music about it.
And, and also, like, all their upbeat songs are about, generally not about, like, very upbeat things. Like, I told you a while back to start singing I Will Possess Your because it's an 8-minute dance song that's actually about a fucking stalker.
Yeah. Let's see.
Gotta take some time, girl. Gotta spend some time.
The sound of settling is probably one of the ones that is most pertinent to my own experiences, because it's about crippling social anxiety in the event of finding someone you feel like you might have a solid chemistry with for a relationship, but not having the courage to say it.
Oh,
God.
dear.
Heavy same.
Also, I really like slow version of Stability.
Yeah.
Time for the bar. Death Cab were always one of those bands that, because they were really close with the Decemberists, they were always adjacent to stuff I was really interested in, but I was only semi-familiar with their work. And so, they're in a weird place like that for me in terms of, being a band I am nostalgic for not knowing a whole lot about.
I got familiar with them through the Postal Service, who I, in turn, got familiar with through Owl City. I've told this story. But
yeah, I think you have.
Yeah. They're one of my faves. I like them.
Am thinking about
Think
stuff.
emoji. Thunk emoji.
Funk emoji.
Funk harder.
I don't know. I kind of want to stream more stuff, but also I don't
want to be alone because you too are entering the emo zone.
No, I'm mentally fine. Just kind of physically feel a little blah. And I don't know what to stream.
Okay.
I don't know.
You know what you should stream, Jane?
What should I stream, Sredni?
Crypt Worlds.
I'm not gonna stream Crypt Worlds.
I have to suggest it every time.
I know. Should I play Terraria? Would anybody in chat be even slightly interested in a Terraria stream? Because I know you two are both going away, and I'll cut the stream and then restart it so that way it's not all part of the same VOD. But
okay,
I don't know. I still kind of want to do something else. I just don't know what. I guess I could just go into group chat, but yeah.
Whatever you want to do, it is what you want to do.
Is that Phoenix Wright? That is Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright, Ace of
Phoenix down.
Phoenix left.
I was about to say Phoenix left.
Yeah.
Master Criminal.
Master Criminal.
Does that mean that Phoenix Up is a firefighter, which actually would make his name very ironic?
And Phoenix Down would be what?
An ambulance driver.
For obvious yes. Good.
What? Is this a reference?
Because Phoenix Down is what you use in Final Fantasy to heal yourself.
Yeah, it brings you back to life. Your character back to life.
Wait, no, Phoenix... No, then Phoenix Up would be an arsonist, because they make people need ambulances.
Fair enough.
And so, Phoenix Upright would be, a lawyer that's on fire.
Layers.
There's layers to this.
A god emperor who passes down the law through his sacred word. And is also on fire. Like a build, my face, which is a building that's on fire, because it's not love. No, it's not love. 'Cause it's not love. Dun, 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 it's not love.
Check it and see.
Anybody else familiar with early Talking Heads?
I've got a fever of 103.
Hot-blooded, hot-blooded.
Here's what I know about the Talking Heads.
It's actually just Talking Heads. They're not even called the Talking Heads, which
They're
is kind of
called the
interesting.
Talking Heads now, because I said they were.
Alrighty. That's an I.
I and another I.
Meow.
Oh, whoa.
Notice his stream ending.
Oh,
Oh,
whoa.
what's this? Phoenix, up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start.
Also known as Konami God.
Konami.
No, Konami Kami. That's even better.
Konami Gami.
Konami Gami.
Actually, now that I'm giving this thing ears, it looks more like a fucking, fuck, what's that 80s movie that people always reference? That I've never seen, but... The one you're not supposed to feed them after midnight?
Gremlins.
Oh,
Gremlins. Yeah.
I don't know. The face is still making me think of Close Your Eyes, Look at the Mountains.
What's
What?
that?
The comic. I'm not sure what the author's name is, but it's about Isabel and Rosie, the like little. I think it's a cat and a rabbit, and they're gay and love each other, and it's cute.
That sounds good. It's a Furby?
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't
Close Your
have
Eyes, Look at the Mountains.
It doesn't have a beak. It can't be a Furby.
You've probably seen it around on Tumblr. It's the one with the comic of one of them going, "You're cute," and then the other one goes, "I'm cute," and then the other one goes, "Yeah, you're cute." And one of them has a Thuck Turfs like shirt on, which is glorious.
I think.
Okay,
around.
This is. I'm looking it up right now, and it's loading Tumblr at the moment. Do.
Yeah.
It's gonna tell you that you need to be logged in to view the content.
No, I'm logged in, and also I'm logged in on the app.
You know,
Always
we're logged the fuck in.
Always
We're
online.
extremely online.
DRM.
Jack,
Let's test the limits of our power in this canyon. Okay, I can stretch around. I can lift this whole mountain with ease. I'm jumping rope with my own arms.
Yeah, that's the latest one.
This is very strange. I like this. I am going to follow this person on Tumblr. As if that means that much, but I shall also bookmark their, Tumblr, I think, somehow on Chrome.
I asked if anybody wanted to come to a solo stream later, and the only person who responded just posted a picture of their dog. I don't know what that means.
Was it a sad-looking dog?
No, he's just like... I'll just put it in the chat. He's just like chilling out. Maybe I will just like go in the group chat on the server and save the streaming for tomorrow night. Because I don't, I'm not doing like a normal PJ live tomorrow because Jerry has work. So I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow night.
That's a good pupper.
A doggo.
Good
Here,
pupper.
I'm gonna draw motion
I want to
lines
pet the pupper.
to make it look like they're waving goodbye, and I'm gonna say like
Pound puppy, pick me pup.
bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye forever.
Oh, I hope not.
Not forever.
Just like until next week.
Goodbye until next week.
Next week.
Figaro, 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 Figaro.
Bye, everybody.